Oh, hello, hello, hello. I think I'm live. I think it's all working. Um, I wanted to do street outreach today, but unfortunately, it's the seventh day. Sorry, Jesus. Let's see. It's the fifth day of sickness, and I don't wanna. I feel okay. I just don't wanna infect anybody, so I'm trying to be careful with it. Yeah, that's it. But I'm live, so we're gonna go on Discord now and have conversations on Discord. Yeah, yeah. I don't know if that person left or you did this for another person. I'm not sure because the accents were pretty similar and the voice was pretty similar. Yeah. I guess that's what happens when people agree. I don't know. They leave, they're afraid. I'm gonna create an event, okay? Yeah, I'm also gonna stay maybe for 2 hours or something. Yes. I said that every single time, and every single time I forgot to end it. Yeah. Okay, I'm almost done creating the event. It's called Should Be Ban Animal Farming. Okay. I'm gonna respond to some people in my chat also. Meanwhile, be right back. Yep. Okay, let's see what we have over here. We have some people making stupid statements. Oh, they were retracted. What do you think of steak yummy yummy in my tummy? What do I think of you exploiting and slaughtering an innocent animal and then you calling it yummy yummy in my tummy? I think that's kind of messed up, brother. I think, imagine somebody saying, worky worky for my, I don't know, cottony, because you like slavery. That's kind of what you're doing. You're justifying oppression by saying yummy yummy. Yeah. I'm vegetarian, so I mostly agree, but I don't see a huge problem with honey since it seems they don't get harmed. They do. They kill the bees. But I'm willing to have my mind changed on it. Danny, sure. You can watch the 3-minute movie, or you can watch... I don't know. I think Dominion covers honey also. Just saw your conversation with Rain out. That was wild. Blatant eugenics. Was somebody doing eugenics? I mean, they always do that when it comes to being against veganism, don't they? Okay, I'm gonna go back to Discord. Oh, and hello everybody else. I'm sorry, I forgot to say hello Dandelion Gum, hello Nasedi, hello Jake. Nice to see awesome people in here. I always appreciate you when you're here. I'll go back on Discord. If you want to debate me, I'm on Discord, everybody. You have the link there. I'll put it to be sure. Wait, I created an event. Yeah. On the English Hub. Yeah. Wait, let me start the event then. Yeah. It's not my first rodeo. Gotcha. Okay. Start. The event has started. Yeah. I'm gonna low. Does anybody have any good explanation for honey? Somebody in the chat is asking me. I'm not sure if Dominion provides that. Yeah, give me 1 second. I need to set up my Discord. Why should animal farming be illegal? Because it's exploiting and slaughtering animals. I'll be right back. Felek, you handle the conversation. I'll be right back. Sorry, everyone. Apparently, you can't hear Discord, and I'm trying to find out what's going on here. Sometimes, you know, this OBS has this weird issue with Discord. Maybe if I do this. Give me 1 second. Restart capture. Oh, okay. I think I found out how. Let's see now if it works.
Life over humans' life, then that's a good reason to farm humans.
I think that's a pretty stupid argument.
Okay, I'm back.
Why would you value an animal life more than you value a human life?
Well, some people could say that humans bring suffering into this existence, while animals don't know any better, which could be a really good reason to do this. We have more suffering
Well, exactly.
because of humans. Yeah,
animals
so,
don't know any better. They don't have the same level of intelligence.
But because we do know better, why do you think like this is a completely different conversation? But just because we know better, why is it good that we like we cause this amount of suffering. We know better than that we can live without exploiting animals. So why should we continue to exploit them? There's no good reason to exploit animals.
Food source.
For the what?
Food source. I mean, I know you guys.
Well, we don't need to eat animals at all.
Yeah.
Sure. Maybe we
So
could
then
go
what-
with farming.
Yeah, farming overall is fine. We're talking about animal farming specifically. That's why the title says animal farming.
As I said, my opinion, a human life has more value than an animal life.
Yeah, but here's a question: if you could exploit an animal or a human or or neither, which one's preferable?
I mean, look, I understand your point. It's just I don't see it as exploitative. It's just a food source. I like to, have a steak
Okay,
sometimes.
so my question again is, what's the difference between humans and non-humans that justifies abuse and oppression that's not necessary?
Well, look, I mean, in my case, first of all, I'm a human, right? I want there to be some laws in place that say you cannot harm humans because I don't want to be harmed myself.
Okay.
And a human life
Cool.
definitely has more value than an animal life because they can bring more value to society as a whole. You understand?
Okay, so let me just ask you this question then. If what because it's still going back to the same question. Why do you want to cause unnecessary suffering to the animal? You still haven't answered that question. You told me why humans are valuable to you, which, whatever, that's cool. But why do you want to cause unnecessary suffering?
I'm not causing it particularly.
You are by paying for it.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, sure, but hold on. You have a phone, right?
Okay, what about it?
Well, the battery in your phone probably has cobalt, which is
Wait
mine.
a
Which is
minute.
mine. What do you mean
This is-
let's
this is-
not?
this
I
is
mean, you're
called-
buying a phone.
Yeah, but this isn't what we were talking about, right? We were talking about
but
the
this is such
needless
a high-
animal
yeah,
exploitation for optional products. It literally says,
Sure,
should we ban
I-
animal farming? Can we discuss animal
Sure.
farming and not
Well-
the repercussions of a system that exploits humans for production of phones, which, by the way, is a system that contains exploitation, not a system that inherently depends on one, as animal farming
Yeah.
is. Do you understand this difference? That a system that contains
I agree, but if-
exploitation needs to be
If you let me talk, I can explain.
do you understand what I was saying? A system that contains exploitation needs to be improved. A system that depends on exploitation needs to be abolished. Do you understand this difference?
What's your point?
Do you understand the difference between a system that contains exploitation and a system that depends on exploitation?
Yes.
Okay.
What's your point?
A phone is created in a system that contains exploitation, not one that depends on it. Do you understand that?
Okay.
Yeah.
I
So
also
then
wanna just
So that
add
should so that should be allowed because not all phones are manufactured.
it should be. Okay, fuck it. Let's go
It's
down
not-
that
listen,
road.
listen, hold
no.
on.
So
Let
this
me-
isn't
hold on,
what
let
we're
me- let me
saying.
just
What
finish
we
my
were saying,
point.
what I was
Just let me
saying
finish my point,
is
man.
that no, because
gotta let me
we've
finish
heard
my
your
point
point
if you wanna-
before, and it's nonsensical,
Wait,
and
guys,
it's a
you
red
didn't hear
herring.
my
It has
point.
nothing
Guys,
to do
guys,
with
you
what
didn't
we were
hear my
discussing
point,
here.
because I
It's
never
just
said my
a
point.
red
I'll
herring.
have to stop everyone. If he wants to make a point that we've heard millions of times again, over and over, you can say it, but I will just let you know that this is also a logical fallacy.
Yeah.
Saying, me asking you a question like, hey, what do you think about this? And you not answering the question and saying, well, what about this? What about this? What about this? What about this?
Hold on, that wasn't my
it's-
point. That wasn't my
Which-
point. You guys are not letting me talk. How can I make my point if I don't get a chance to talk? You're just
real quick,
assuming. You're
I'll
just
Make your
assuming
point.
things I'm gonna say.
Make your
I'll
point.
let you talk, but I want it to be relevant to animals, okay?
It is relevant to you guys and this movement.
Make
because
your point.
Relevant
You
to
pick-
the animals.
Just
you
let him
pick and
make his
choose.
point. Make your point, fella. Make your
ju-
point.
I'm trying to make my point, but you're not letting me talk again.
Cool.
You're picking and choosing what industries you think are exploitative. You definitely use some services that are gained with exploitative manners, but you don't care about that. So this is
Okay.
a very hypocritical argument.
Okay, so that's
Which
all
I
you're
don't like.
Okay, so let me explain to you what errors you're making there. So first of all, it's called the fallacy from relative privation, because when we bring up one issue in the world, you say, what about this other issue? And then the second issue that you're saying there, it's fallacy from hypocrisy. It's a saying, because you're saying that because we are hypocrites, that means you should not be vegan or veganism is wrong. Okay, these are two fallacies that you committed with your statement right over there. But
I never said that.
but I just said before all this, I counteracted what you were going to say, and I told you very clearly that a system that depends on exploitation is different than a system that contains exploitation. Do you understand the difference between these two systems? Because both are bad, but the way we tackle them is differently. Do you understand that?
Oh.
Sorry, I keep it.
Because the way you tackle a system that contains exploitation is you improve the systems. In other words, if, for example, as you say, let's say there's child labor in the production of a phone, right? If you were to reject that phone, if everybody were to reject that phone, it doesn't mean that child labor will no longer be existing in that factory or in that country, but rather that they will move from producing that phone to producing something else, because child labor is an issue within that factory. It's an issue that needs to be resolved. However, abolishing or that product alone will not solve the issue. But when it comes to animal agriculture, it's a system that depends on exploiting animals. There's no way to make animal agriculture work without exploiting animals. Therefore, the only way to make it end is to abolish it.
I could think of some.
You could think
I
of
could
what?
think of some farming that doesn't involve killing the animal. I mean,
I said
probably not
exploitation,
already.
right? Did I say killing? I said exploitation.
Just real quick, because there's so many people in chat, I'll try to moderate the conversation. So if it's gonna get heated, I'll just jump in. For now, I'll just stay quiet.
Sure. So tell me a way where we can farm humans and it would be moral.
Well, there is no moral way.
Oh, so if
to
there's
farm
no
a
moral,
human, as you put it.
okay, if there's no moral way to farm a human, why is there a moral way to farm a
Work
different animal?
exploitation, bro. Work exploitation, bro.
Why is there a
Farming
different?
humans, bro.
We're not talking to you. We're talking to somebody
Guys,
else right
keep it
now.
1-to-1.
Yeah.
Keep it 1-to-1, please.
So why is there a good way to farm another animal other than human, right? Like if it's no matter what, it's wrong to farm a human. Why is there a good way to farm another animal?
Again, you're just phrasing the question.
Yeah,
in a way
that's how you make a
doesn't make
question.
sense. Of course, sure, I agree with you. There is no moral way
To
for
farm an
it.
animal.
Sure. I mean, if
Okay.
you kill it, that's bad. If you
So-
keep it in a barn, locked up and shit, they can go outside just to lay eggs. For the example with chickens, yeah, that's bad.
So if there's no good way
Me
to farm an
personally-
animal, why would you choose to support it?
I like eating eggs. I like eating some steak. It's good. Tastes good.
Do you think that the pleasure that you get from it justifies the exploitation?
For me, sure.
For
It
you,
does.
sure.
Yeah.
So would you
I
say
like
that?
eating eggs. They're
Okay.
good.
Okay.
Lots of
So
protein.
yeah, sure. Do you think we can get protein from other sources?
Not the same quality of protein.
Yeah.
Sure.
What exactly makes quality protein? I'm a certified nutritionist. Please explain to me what exactly defines the quality of a protein.
Well, I'm not a nutritionist.
Okay. So what makes it a quality protein, and what makes animal protein higher in quality?
But in my opinion, protein from an animal, from a living being, right, which is an animal, is way better for you than the counterpart, which is a plant.
In what way is it way better? Because when you
That's the
eat
thing.
animal products, you also increase your risk of colon cancer, a lot of the times of gastrointestinal cancer, and of heart disease. So in what way is it better protein? Because as far as I understand, it's not really better.
As I said, I'm not a nutritionist. I just see some studies about the quality of protein.
Oh, can you share the studies?
Sure.
So again, what makes it high quality protein? Because a study will not say that the protein is higher quality. They'll just say, well,
Look,
this
what
study
they-
does this or the other thing.
Protein is a protein.
Yeah, it's a series of amino acids. Why would it matter?
As I said, I do not have an answer for that.
Okay, so you don't have an answer for any of it. So based on what you're saying, let's recap, okay? So based on what you're saying, you're okay with exploiting and slaughtering innocent animals, although for something that you don't need because you get pleasure out of it, right? That's all you're saying, right?
That is good.
Yeah, so are you okay with
I will agree.
Are you okay with bullfighting also?
I will agree. I probably shouldn't have made a point about the quality of protein as I'm not informed in the subject. Sure, I'll give you that.
Okay, do you think it's okay to do bullfighting also?
No, because it serves no purpose.
What do you mean? It's entertainment. It gives people pleasure, just like you get pleasure from eating these animal
It's
products.
not the same thing. It's not sure I could survive on plants. Sure.
No, you could be healthy and thrive on a plant-based diet.
Again.
I'm getting lost in all of this conversation because you're just pointing out nonsense after nonsense, right? First you brought up the phone thing. I'm guessing you're okay now. You understand the idea that it's true, it's a different thing, right? Can you concede to that?
That it's a different thing.
Yeah, that it's a
Still
different
exploitative.
concern that needs to be tackled differently.
Still exploitative.
That's not what I asked. Did you understand the perspective? Well, listen, I think you're not listening. So in order to tackle this whole situation, I'm going to ask you to explain to me what exactly is the difference between animal farming and exploitation from phones?
What is the difference?
Yeah, what's the difference? I explained it to you in several ways. I'm sure maybe everything came out through one ear and exited through the other. And if that's the case, I can repeat it. But you know, I'm listening to what you're saying. You are not even giving the bare minimum respect to listen to what I'm saying. So I'm going to ask you to repeat it.
What you said. I understood what you said, bro.
You listened to what I said.
What you said.
Okay, so what is it that I said?
Of course. Hold on, please. By the way, just stop with the attitude, bro. I'm trying to have a respectful conversation with you. You're just giving me an attitude. Like you're
Yeah.
very sassy, bro. Holy
Please
shit.
don't tone police me also. We're not here to
Yeah,
tone police
let's not
anybody.
do that.
Yeah, just
Nobody is
just
policing
answer.
you, man.
Yeah, but if I
Nobody's
talk like
policing
this and
you.
I don't say like my point is
Hold
better,
on.
because how the fuck does that sound, man?
Can you just
No,
no,
I
I-
ask
okay.
again?
Kind of
Hold on.
conversation, bro.
Guys,
Don't get
do you
heated.
actually want to have or
Yeah, guys, I'm gonna quickly moderate. Vladimir, or I'm not sure what your name is. Could you address the question without, talking
Sure, bro.
about the tone? Thank you.
Thank you.
You said that the animal industry is dependent on exploitation,
Okay.
while the phone industry, as my example, only contains exploitation.
Okay.
Not all the phones are made by exploitative, like this means, exploitative means.
Why does that matter?
That's what you said.
Why is that important?
For you, is because you clearly
No.
put a very high value on animal life.
Nope. I actually explained to you also why that matters. Why that whole statement means
That's your
something.
point. That's your point of view.
It's not my point of view. It's actually logical point of view. So you did not listen to when I explained to you why that matters, correct?
I did listen, bro.
Okay, so why does that matter then?
You said you need to abolish this because it depends on.
Okay, so
Exploitation.
both systems are bad. We can both agree on that, right?
Sure.
How do we get rid of these systems?
Yeah, I don't know. Stop buying.
Okay, so one of them is stop buying. It's true. That is animal farming. You can stop it by stop farming. A system that depends on exploitation, you'll stop the exploitation simply by not giving the system money anymore. But a system that contains exploitation, is stopping buying a good solution?
I think that's the only solution.
Is it? Because do you think that the
Is-
people who are assembling the phones cannot assemble something else?
They can, okay.
Yeah.
Sure.
So it
But if
seems like
nobody's
you.
buying them, nobody's buying what they assemble because they know how it's made.
So what
they
you're
won't buy
saying.
it, so,
So what you're saying.
It's
Don't
just a
buy.
monetary incentive.
So what you're saying is don't buy anything made in that factory in that country, correct?
Sure.
Sure. How would you know that?
I don't know, bro.
Okay, so it seems to me like you're just
Again,
trying to nitpick
listen,
at things that you don't actually know, right? Because you've made arguments about the protein you didn't know, and now you're making an argument about the
Yeah.
exploitation. And instead of you saying you're right. The only way to reject animal exploitation, which is a bad thing that we're talking about, is to reject it. The only way to remove the exploitation is to reject it. And now,
Stop buying.
yeah, stop buying. So you're saying now that animal exploitation is okay. So this is where we're at right now. That animal exploitation is okay
Sure.
because you get pleasure from it, correct?
I like the taste.
Yeah, taste is a pleasure. It's a pleasure sensory. It's a sensory pleasure thing, right? Taste is pleasure.
Sure. But
Okay.
I know you, again, I know your point. Look, man. I don't enjoy watching bullfights. I know for you it's entertainment, as you put that way. But for example, I would probably have pleasure by taking cocaine, but I'm not gonna do it because it's bad for me. I'm probably not gonna enjoy the effects afterwards.
Why don't you go to bullfighting? It's not bad for you.
Again, because I don't like it.
Oh, but if somebody were to be
Maybe
enjoying
so.
bullfighting, you would be okay with it, right?
Not really.
Why not?
Pointless violence.
Excuse me? Can you please repeat what you're saying?
You left.
Of
Wow.
course.
Hello, can I speak?
Yeah, but I think
Sure.
vegan gays wanted to have a conversation with you, right? Oh,
Yeah, let's have like one vegan
Yeah.
at a time talk to a different person. That would be really cool.
sounds good.
That's good. Let's just see if vegan gaze is available. Mic
I
check,
I
mic
am
check.
sorry. I'm just eating a vegan ham sandwich.
Gotcha.
Sorry.
Cool. What's the question?
The person I want to ask left, right?
Zedwin. I think Zedwin is
Mhm.
here. I think you had a question, right?
That one?
Hello, can I speak? Yeah.
Yes,
Mhm.
go ahead.
Yeah. More than a question, it's more of addressing the vegan community as a whole. I feel like, I'm not saying this for everyone, but I feel like sometimes it feels kind of gatekeepy, in a sense, that people that come here to discuss don't really have that choice to discuss, because they just come here and they just get berated by like pre-formulated um, questions or responses, and they don't really get to say what it's on their minds.
Oh, okay.
I just,
Yeah, that's fine. So I will allow you to say what's on your mind. When it comes to veganism, are you a vegan or not?
no, not really. I just came here to see what was up, but yeah.
Okay. So is that something that you believe is justified to not be vegan?
I don't think it's justifiable or not justifiable. I feel like
Or neutral?
I'm neutral about it. I mean, I don't care if someone is vegan, but I wouldn't impose it on people.
No, that's not the question. Sorry. I'm not asking if you'd impose veganism on someone else. I'm asking if you think it, in your view, it's morally justified to say if you eat chickens to breed them into existence and purposefully take their life away so you can have them in your sandwich. Would you say that's justified?
I mean, it depends on who you ask the question to. If you ask that to a
Oh,
vegan, of
sorry.
course they're gonna
Just to
say,
be sorry, Sedwin. When I'm asking you specifically.
yeah. I'm saying for me it is, because I do
Oh,
eat
okay. So it's
meat.
justified.
Yeah,
Okay. So you're it's not that you're doing something hypocritically, it's that you're doing something and you fully believe it to align with your values.
basically.
Okay. So just to double check, because obviously when I hear that I get a bit concerned because I'm an animal too, right? So just to be clear, you wouldn't think it's justified in the case of let's say a dog instead of a chicken?
Depends on culture. Everything is
No,
based
no,
off context.
I'm asking, please, I'm asking
If
you.
you ask a Chinese person, they might say yes.
Well, that's just xenophobic. I'm asking you.
It is not. It is not xenophobic.
We're not gonna
It
we're not
depends on
gonna
culture.
hang on. We're not gonna play this game, by the way. I'm asking
There's
you specifically
okay.
for what you believe. Okay, so
You're
you
trying
did
to corner
say
me into a question. like
No,
that
if you
is
feel
that
if you
can
feel
only give
cornered, then
you.
I think you know where this might be going. So, do
But
you think it's
this is the
justified?
problem.
No,
This is the
no.
problem.
Yeah, the
It's like
problem is people can't answer
everything goes.
questions. Just
No,
to
the
be
problem is
clear, yeah, no, no, no.
I'm
Do
getting
you
asked
think it's
questions that go.
justified? Do you
Well,
think it's
what is this?
justified to do the same thing to a dog?
But this is not a conversation then.
It's not a
Instead of having
conversation,
a
yeah, if people
conversation, you're
don't answer
leading
the
me
question.
into a set of questions that are gonna give you an answer that you want to hear.
Yeah, just
So
real
No,
that
quick.
what I
way I give
no,
As
what
you
just to be
the reason.
clear, what I want to hear actually is, "Oh, I'll go vegan today," but you won't say that, so I'm not gonna hear what I want to hear.
so
What I'd like to hear, sorry, Felix, do you wanna go?
just quickly, as like a quick moderator of this VC, if you don't want to talk about veganism, you're free to leave. That's all.
Nobody said that. Nobody said that. It's just
Okay, then
that
we can
doesn't have
carry
anything
on
to do
we
with
can carry on
veganism.
with the yeah, we can
But
carry on with the
it's not a
conversation then.
conversation if you're just asking me one question after the other just to get me to say yes, you're right. That is not a
No,
conversation.
I'm not getting you to say, "Yes, you're right." I'm trying to stake out your values. You said to me that it is justified in your view to farm a chicken and kill them so you can have them in a sandwich. So I'm just trying to next find out if you think that's the same for like an animal like a dog. Is that true or no?
That's the thing. It depends on
I'm
countries.
asking you.
Look,
Yeah,
for
I'm
example,
asking you.
there in France, for example, I am right now. I'm living in France. People eat horse. You could ask someone in the US. They might say, "Oh, that's horrible. That is insane." It depends where
Well,
you live.
yeah, I'm
So
asking you.
maybe
I'm asking you. You complain that people don't like let people talk about their values and their beliefs. So now I'm asking you your beliefs. Do you think it's justified to farm a dog for a sandwich?
for me personally, not because
No. Okay.
where I live, there are pets and we treat them as such. But if for example, for me, the pet or the national pet was like a chicken, well, I wouldn't kill it the
Okay.
same way as in other countries.
I don't know if you cut off for other people, but I can't hear you.
I
Can
I
can.
can't
anyone
hear
Wait,
him
what?
either. Yeah, you
It's fine.
cut
It's
off.
fine.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. Yeah, you cut off.
No, I'm pushed to talk. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, just to be clear, what I gathered from that is if you had a chicken as a companion animal, you wouldn't want to kill and eat them, right?
Of course, because it would be I decided it's gonna be my companion animal.
Okay. So just to check that consistency, obviously humans are animals too, but we can't have them as pets, right? So as humans aren't your companion animals, would you think it's justified to farm them for a sandwich filler?
Again, that makes no sense. I mean, what if
I'll
anything?
explain it. Yeah, I'll explain it. So obviously, humans are animals, just like these animals. So you're saying the reason I won't farm a dog is because they're my pet. So I'm just trying to work out a human can't be your pet. So, and they're an animal. So, in your view, is it then justified to farm them? A sandwich filler. If not, there's something else at play is making it the case that you think it's justified to send them to the slaughterhouse.
I mean, you cannot farm a human because it's against the law. It's just
I'm not asking. I'm
literally.
asking if it's morally justified. I think I'm asking a very specific question to find out
Yeah,
your
I see.
value.
I see we're going there again. Yeah, we're asking a specific question that
Yeah,
needs a specific
absolutely.
answer. That is
Yeah,
a yes.
it needs
You're
your
right. That's
honest
what you're looking
answer.
for.
No, no, no. I want the answer of your value. Do you think it's wrong to farm humans? I'm not asking if you think it's legal. I'm asking if you think it's
Yeah, I
morally
mean,
wrong.
of course.
Yeah.
Morally
Okay.
speaking, yeah. If I'm a human, for me, morally, it is.
Okay. So then there's got to be some distinctive, morally significant difference between you, a dog, like a chicken that would justify killing the chicken for a sandwich filler. And I'm trying to work out what it is because it's unclear.
Well, me personally, I'm not gonna farm a human because I'm a human. But as the same as a lion might not pose itself the question, am I gonna eat this human or not? Even though we're animals, the same. Like they're not
But it
gonna ask
can't be,
themselves this moral
yeah,
question.
It can't be that though, because you're not a dog, but you wouldn't farm a dog for a sandwich. So there's got to be some sort of different thing there, like a trait or something, an attribute that's there that's saying, yeah, I can kill you. I'm trying to work out what it is because you're not a dog.
Yeah, I see. I don't understand your question right now. Are you asking something? What?
Yeah, I'm asking, right? So you said to me, I wouldn't kill a human because I'm a human. Like I wouldn't do that. And in the dog instance, you wouldn't kill a dog because they're a pet. So if an individual is neither a human like nor a pet, so say for example you have a dog, they're not your pet, they don't belong to anyone, they're a stray, is it justified to kill them if you say no, there's something else happening?
What do you mean? Is it justified killing the dog? You're saying?
Yeah, like the stray dog, say if I wanted to then take them and then I farmed them and I put them in my
Mhm.
sandwich, have I done anything wrong in your view?
I mean, still depends. I mean, it is
Depends
considered the
on what.
dogs are companion animals, but it depends on culture. You need
They're not.
context for anything.
No, yeah. I'm giving you the context. I'm saying they are a stray, they belong to no one, nobody wants them. Have I
Yeah,
done
well,
something wrong if I farm them? They're not anyone's companion animal. I've decided they are a dog for meat, and I slaughter them for my sandwich filler. Have I
well,
done something wrong in your view?
I believe it's against the law. Yes.
Can I?
Yeah, I'm not asking if it's against the law. I'm asking if you think it's wrong.
I mean, if you're doing it, like, I think it's wrong since you can get meat from other sources. You don't need to go out of your way
Yeah,
to kill a stray dog.
that's
Like,
not what's being asked of you because you can get meat from I've just had vegan ham sandwich, so I've got my meat from a plant-based source. So
okay.
that doesn't actually get you out of it. So I'm asking you, would it be wrong if I took a stray dog, didn't belong to anyone, and I farmed them for flesh, so I could have the sandwich? Would it be justified in your view, or have I done something wrong?
To be honest, me personally, I wouldn't really care if it wasn't my dog or anything, but I saying, sure, if you want to, go for it.
Okay, so it would be justified in your
Like,
view if I
it's
wanted
not
to.
justified. I mean, you're breaking the law, and for me, it's like, well, you're breaking the law. You know what you're getting into if you want to
I'm
just
not
go
asking
ahead and kill a
legality.
dog.
Yeah, I'm
Well, the
asking
thing is, legality
morality.
is based off. The thing is, legality is based off of morality. Every single law is
No.
based off morality.
Okay, so
Yes,
just to be
Wait,
clear,
wait, hold on. Yeah.
before it became law that you go to prison if you murder someone, it wasn't actually wrong to murder someone in your view. So the second they made it law, you were like, oh, that's actually morally wrong, or was it wrong before
it's
then?
not that. It's that legality is based off morality. So since
Yeah,
it's
I'm
not
not
moral
asking you
to
if it's
kill a
based.
person,
Yeah, I'm not asking you if it's based off it. I'm asking you,
oh my god,
can you acknowledge that something can be wrong while not actually being something that's implemented like in law as illegal?
I'm saying, me personally, I don't care. So you could, for me, if you want to, go ahead, kill it. I mean,
Um, Hold on, real quick. Vegan
go kill
guys,
a stray.
maybe give them an example, because remember we're in English Hub, so maybe there's some kind of English barrier somewhere. So maybe if you give them an example, it will be a little bit easier to understand.
Yeah, I'm trying to think because obviously I don't know laws everywhere, but say for example, FGM. If there's no law against FGM and people deploy it and it's like religiously justified to do you think it's morally justified to do because it's not illegal?
Can you repeat that again, the last part?
Yeah, say for example, if FGM were not illegal, would you think it's morally justified to do?
What is FGM? I
Fema-
don't
female
know
gen-
every.
Sorry,
Yeah.
female genital mutilation.
Oh yeah, it's just not part of my vocabulary every day. Yeah, what about it?
That's fine. Yeah, if
Mhm.
it's not illegal, do you think it's then justified? It's not wrong.
Well, if I would live in a society that deems that not legal, then I would find that fucked up, you know? So,
No.
yes,
Yeah, I'm
for
asking
me,
if if it's. Oh,
for me
okay.
that's wrong.
It's what?
Yeah,
Sorry, that's wrong.
it's wrong.
Even if it wasn't illegal.
Hmm. So the
Okay.
thing is,
So when you
everything
mentioned,
I
yeah. Okay.
can
So
keep.
now we have a
Sorry,
now
sorry,
we can
sorry.
just dismiss
Yeah, okay.
the bit before.
Yeah, because the thing is, I see this like recurrent pattern is like, I mean, I can read the comments now as saying like, oh, I'm wasting the time and whatnot. I mean, I think the whole point of this is having conversations with people that aren't vegan to discuss about the thing.
Yeah.
But I
Yeah, and
don't.
I'm
If
talking
you
to
feel,
you.
if you
Yeah.
guys feel like
Hang
I'm
on.
wasting your
Hang
time.
on. No. You're talking to me, okay? So just, I'm not saying you're wasting my time, okay? So you're talking to me right now. But I can see why someone might see it as time wasting. If someone says, well, the thing is, this this isn't illegal, therefore it can't be bad. But then I go through this whole thing where I'm asking them, okay, well, here's an example of something that isn't illegal, but you still would find it wrong. So when you say, okay, I think that's fine because it's not illegal, you have kind of wasted some time there because that's not actually really what you believe then, right?
But that's because you said, what if this wasn't illegal? Would this be wrong? Like it is illegal because it is wrong. That is why it is
I don't
illegal. So you said,
know. Yeah, no.
yeah, you
Well,
said
no,
why?
because if it is no, let's see what you're saying. If it is the case that it could be wrong for you, even if it weren't illegal, then you're showing how something can be wrong while being legal.
I'm not saying things can't be wrong while being legal.
Okay, there we go. So then we can dismiss all of that and we can go back to the question, right? So we were talking about the fact that you wouldn't farm a human. You wouldn't think it's rather justified to farm a human, never mind whether or not you do it, because you talked about the legality of it. Now we can dismiss that. We understand that even if something, it
Well,
hasn't got a
not
legal status, that doesn't
not
tell
completely
you.
dismiss it. I don't think we could completely dismiss it. I mean, of course, not every law is good, or not everything that's not law should be good, but most of it is, and that's why we have a society that's working society. Like, or else people would just be robbing stores outside every single day and killing people in the street
Well, yeah.
without
So
any consequences.
just to be clear, if like dog meat is legal, you would think it's morally justified. You're like a moral relativist, is that?
Well, if it was accepted by society, and everybody thought since conception, since birth, you were like, your head or your brain was trained to be like, okay, well, eating dog is okay. Well, I
Hmm.
don't think nobody will see that as a problem. But since that's not the case, at least
Yeah,
for
I'm
me,
not asking if people. Yeah, I'm not asking about social norms of people and how they comply with these things. I'm asking, just to be clear, for you, if it were like legal to eat dogs for meat and someone did it where it is legal, you would say, no, they've not done anything wrong. Is that correct?
if it was legal since I was born, and if it was something that was considered normal, yes, I would.
Yeah, no, so you're looking outside. Say, for example, there's a country and they fully legalize eating dogs or they fully legalize eating humans. Would you think it's justified to do that morally?
You mean like if something like just came up, like a new law or something like that? That's
Yeah,
what you're
new law
saying?
tomorrow. Tomorrow, it's like, okay, well, in this country, sending humans to the farms, sending dogs to farms for sandwich fillers, all absolutely legal. You can do it if you want. Would you look at them and go, well, I might feel uncomfortable, but I don't think they're doing anything wrong.
I mean, for me, it would be wrong. Yeah, personally.
Okay. So when we're talking about appealing to culture, appealing to legality, and everything like that, even if something is legal, even if something is culturally acceptable, you would still say, okay, well, I have a preference against that. So this is why we need to stop talking about these things, because they aren't, you're trying to, we're together, right? We're trying to tell each other our preferences. I'm trying to find out what your actual preferences are. You keep telling me these things, and then you're saying, oh, no, actually, even if that were the case, I wouldn't then agree with it. So there must be something else that is saying to you, oh, no, that's wrong. Could I give an example of why I think killing an animal for sandwich fillers is bad?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, so I'm valuing sentience, right? I'm saying, look, they are having a subjective experience, just like I am. It might not be the same. Well, it probably isn't the same, right? This is my own experience. You have your own experience, and these other animals are as well. And therefore, there's no morally significant difference there between me and them that would justify slitting their throat and it not being a terrible experience for them as it would for me. And it doesn't matter if tomorrow it became illegal to farm the human, the dog, the rat, the rabbit. I would say, well, they're sentient, so I can't farm them and find that justified. That's why it's so simple. For you, it doesn't seem to be sentience. You haven't said anything about that. It can't be legality, because even if something is legal, you can have a problem with it. And it can't be culture, because if something's culturally the case, you could still think it's wrong. So I'm trying to find out what it is that thing within the chicken that's not present in the dog, not present in the human, that you say, okay, well, slit the chicken's throat, but not the others.
Yeah, but then do you think that a lion in Africa is gonna think about morality while he devours a zebra or something? Like,
Probably not. And they're
no.
probably not going to do that when they commit infanticide against a competing mating pair. But I would never,
Yeah.
ever kill someone else's children and say, oh, I didn't do anything wrong because lions kill babies. Like, I wouldn't do that. So I don't know why you're doing that right now either.
No, I mean, you're saying that sentience has a whole play in it, but it's only one-sided because it's then like only humans care about the sentience, but animals when they eat each other, it's okay.
It's not. I've not made any claims about it being okay or
I'm,
not,
I'm
and it's
asking.
not.
I'm
It's that.
asking. I'm asking. It's a question.
Well, I think it's a bad thing. I don't like it. It doesn't align with my preferences. But the thing is, I can't really talk to a lion. I don't know about you, but I can talk to you and find out if it actually aligns with your values to slit a chicken's throat. And I'm still trying to work out what it is about a chicken that would justify slitting their throat for a sandwich filler. Have you got some sort of morally significant difference between them and us that would? It's okay if you don't, by the way, because I don't think there is one.
Yeah, not really.
No, that's the problem, and that's what compelled me to go vegan. I was like, "Oh shit, like I can't justify this. I can't live a lie. I can't say, look, yeah, I might be a hypocrite because everything that I ever want to say to anyone about anything, if I ever want to go, no, I don't like what you did there, I'm just a walking contradiction if I continue not being vegan. I can't value human rights and go to someone, oh, don't punch that toddler. I can't say that because I'm happy. Then, if I carry on not being vegan, to send animals in transport trucks to a slaughterhouse to be gassed.
But
Doesn't make
I have a
sense.
question. Then, to some extent, should every animal be vegan? Is that what you're implying by saying that we have the decision of not eating animals, but animals should have also the decision of not eating each other? Like, would you like
Well,
every animal to be vegan? Is that it?
I don't even know how you'd make every animal vegan in the sense that veganism is a philosophy against the exploitation of other animals. So, like, you're asking me to like oh, can are you trying to make all animals Christian? It's like I don't know how I would even communicate that to them. What I'm trying to do is make humans vegan. Now, the thing is, right, we've had this conversation. Like, what is, if you don't think it's justified, there's two options. Either you carry on in hypocrisy or you go vegan. Which one do you think you would like to do that would actually express who you are as a person?
So you're basically saying if I'm not a vegan, I'm a hypocrite, basically.
Yeah, well, it might be the case. You might be someone who doesn't value anyone. You might not value humans. You might think, fuck them all. You might think that. But if you are someone who does value humans, you do value their experience external to your own, you care about their rights, you care about their autonomy. If you care about those things in the human context, and you can't give a morally relevant trait between them and us, then yeah, you are a hypocrite if you carry on engaging in behaviors that exploit these non-human animals. 100%.
Okay.
Yeah. And like obviously you can come away and go, look, yeah, I am a hypocrite. But do remember that if you do that, the consequence to these animals is just so horrific. And it is not something that you can look at and go, oh yeah, that's justified. You can't. It's so horrific. We gas animals to death. We slit their throat. We confine them, and we say, "You are mine" in every way whatsoever. We strip them of everything they have. We steal their children from them, and then we have the audacity to put little humane labels and not like organic certified, as if that does anything for them whatsoever, just to make people feel more comfortable about something they're not actually comfortable with. It's like, so yeah, you can walk away and be like, I'm a hypocrite, but the consequence to individuals is so like unfathomable. Like I don't know why you would.
One, I guess budget would be one of the reasons, because I feel like being vegan is kind of a privilege.
So obviously it's a privilege if you can go to a supermarket, but it isn't one that's like only accessible to plant-based dieters. I went vegan as a student. I had sometimes £5 for the week. And there are reports that state that it can indeed actually be cheaper. There's a Lancet report. If you are someone who is low income, you know already that you work within your budget. Sometimes you have to say no to the filet mignon or like the fancy cut of flesh. Just in the vegan context, sometimes you have to say no to the luxury, vegan ham or something. I treat myself when it's on offer. That's what I do with the money that I have. Your staples, rice, beans, like these are very cheap foods. And again, what would be, even if it were the case, say it were like £2 cheaper, more expensive a week, wouldn't you prefer to do that knowing that you're not condemning like other sentient beings to such horrific atrocities? I'd happily pay an extra quid for a cake if it meant that like baby chicks didn't get ground up alive. Happily. Or I just wouldn't have the cake.
Yeah, I guess humanity is not ready to give up like I guess meat as a whole,
Yeah.
because of
Humanity might
many.
not be ready though, but are
Yeah.
you? When you say
Me, I'm
humanity,
not. I'm not.
yeah. So let's we people say, and you might not be doing this, but a lot of people say it, and they're kind of hiding behind humanity. So obviously, there's something happening here, and I don't expect you to just fully agree now, because but a conversation doesn't end when we stop speaking, right? I hope you do think about this, and yes, it does tell someone else everything about you with what you decide to act like, how you decide to behave. And if you're telling me, yes, I am someone who acknowledges these atrocities occurring, I cannot justify them, but I'm going to pay for them anyway. What am I supposed to take from that for you as a person? And then do you have any right to complain about anyone else when they inconvenience you or do something you view to be wrong, and you sit there and you're confused about why they've done it? And you go, how could they have done that? That's how you know exactly how they've done it, because they've done exactly what people do when they deny the obligation to go vegan. 100%.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like life is not everything in life is not just like rainbows and sunshine. I feel like there's stuff that is ugly about how
Hmm.
we humans deal and stuff, like how it is an industry, and how the process is done from start to finish, of course. But hey, I mean, can't expect everyone to go vegan from, you know, just I don't know, man. I don't feel like I will, and I don't feel like people will. I don't think
Yeah,
that's
it's interesting when people say, "Oh, the world's not all sunshine and rainbows." It's always followed with trying to make it feel better that we're doing something bad. No, the world is filled with horrific atrocities, suffering, cancer, disease, crime. But that doesn't mean for a second that you don't have to behave behave according to values that you claim to possess, where you care about the autonomy of other individuals. Yeah, no, you will not make the world vegan by going vegan yourself, but at least you will not be a hypocrite, and at least you could, hold your head up high and say, at least I'm not the one doing it, and I oppose it, and I want the world to look a different way, and I'm actually engaging in the world the way I'd like to see it, instead of just going, oh well, things are shit. Like, they are shit because people don't change or decide not to in that moment, because obviously we do change, but people, the world, we wonder why it's so crap, but it's because people make excuses. Don't do that. That's what I would say if you want to be a good person.
But the thing is, you cannot say just because I'm vegan that makes me a good person, like in
No,
in any in
no,
any.
that's not the claim I'm making. There are many actions that you can take in order to actually align with your values. But veganism is a massive one of them, because the animal exploitation is so rampant, so unbelievably rampant. And it tells you a lot about a person, because if they can look at a social norm and they can go, oh, that's not okay. That takes some introspection to look at something and go, look, just because society is doing it, just because my mates are doing it, doesn't mean
It's not
I
about that. I feel like the fact that the human being has become the apex predator in Earth has allowed us to take a more cynical approach on many things, not only animals, but also uh, war, even us, how we treat ourselves, how we treat different ethnic groups, everything. So we can just do it because we're allowed to do it. I feel like if another species that had our same sense or level of consciousness was in our level, well, maybe they wouldn't be as hardwired as the human being on, taking advantage over stuff. But that's kind of our, n- I would say, nature. It's like hardwired on us to like take advantage of the resources. And I mean,
Yeah,
you could say
yeah, I
this.
I get what you're saying. Yeah, but the thing is, it might be my nature to clench my fist. It doesn't mean it's justified for me to punch people just because I can, just because I'm of a species that is the apex predator. It doesn't suddenly mean I have any justification to do any action that would harm somebody else. And yeah, maybe that is something that has made us feel so self-entitled that we decide to behave so uncompassionately to others. Who knows? All I know is if I think it's wrong, I'm not going to do it. And I think you should do the same if you want to see a world where people don't do these bad things. It's really as simple as that. Because we can knock our heads all day about why would someone do that? Why? But if we can't even evoke ourselves enough to change, like who we're supposedly supposed to be in control of ourselves, then I don't know why anyone would then question the behavior of other people.
Mic check.
Hello.
No, you're fine. It's just the other person.
Yep.
Yeah, and I guess I think that might be quite conclusive. You know, we found there's no like morally significant difference. There's nothing that justifies it in like with one animal but not the other. And obviously, then we're now kind of appealing to the fact that the world won't change. I mean, it will absolutely change, and it is up to the individuals within it how it changes or how quickly it changes and in which direction it goes. And you're in control of your actions to however much degree we'd like to say, and nobody else is. And so you've got to just behave according to your values. And if you don't, then you know, I can't complain about how anyone else behaves, unfortunately.
Yeah, I just want to make a little side comment. So there are vegan substitutes for literally every single thing today. So it's not like you'll be missing out on anything, actually. I just want to say that. Sorry, go on.
Yep.
Yeah, I literally just had a vegan ham and cheese sandwich. Like,
Exactly. Yeah.
you can literally be a vegan meathead. I kind of am. So it's really of nothing to you. It's just very perplexing to me when people complain about the behavior of other people, but then, you know, and this could change right now if you wanted it to. You could be like, oh yeah, like I am engaging in something I can't justify. Oh yeah, I am you know, doing this behavior that I don't think's okay, and I do have the ability to stop it. Will I or will I not? Like, I just don't. I don't get it.
There's no logical reason. We all know it.
Yeah, thank you for letting me speak.
I mean, that was a great conversation, Elle. You did great.
Yeah, I feel free to come back to me if you have a different view at some other point, whatever it might be.
I think the whole legal stuff, I learned to, I also used to do how you do it, but I learned to say, well, you know, cheating on your partner is legal, but it is not moral. So
yeah, true. Usually people do, even people who cheat, say that they think it's wrong. So
exactly.
Yeah, true.
Yeah. But otherwise, you nailed it out of the park.
Thank you.
Sombrero, do you want to have a conversation with us?
Yes. This is my first time on a live, so I'm a bit nervous.
Yeah, no worries, no worries. So what's your position on all of this? Do you think we should ban animal agriculture?
To a certain extent, I think we should at least reduce it a lot. My views are more environmental and for the security of every country around the world.
Sure, but I'm asking you strictly from the perspective, like, let me ask you this. Do you think animals should have rights?
Yes, to a certain extent.
So what rights, if you could think about it, what rights would you give animals?
That's a hard question.
I can ask
I
you
would
about a
say-
specific right if you want, if that makes it easier.
Yes.
Sure. So do you think animals should have the right to not be treated like an object by us?
No.
No. Okay.
But because I think we as humans, we have done a lot of overproduction of the farming industry, but I think we could do it in a sustainable way. That's a lot better than it is now.
Sustainable for the environment, you mean, right? Not for the animals.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So do you think, because you know, let's put the environment for on the side for a second, because that's not the topic at hand, and we can discuss it afterwards if that's your concern. But when it comes to animal rights specifically, you're saying animals should not have the right to not be treated like an object. So I wonder, do you think humans should have that right to not be treated like an object?
Yes.
Okay. So why is it that you think one way about humans and the other way about an animal? Because you seem to think that, like, why is it that you think animals do not deserve the right to not be treated like an object? They're not objects after all.
I think that humans. I set humans higher because they are the same species as me.
Oh, but what if they wouldn't be treated like an object by the same species, right? They would be treated like an object by a different species. Would that mean it's okay?
I mean, they are treated like an object by lions and all other.
No, humans are
Animals?
not treated like objects by lions and other animals. They're not at all. No.
In the same way we are treating animals now.
No, no. So let me explain, because when I say treated like an object, I don't necessarily mean eat an animal, right? I don't think eating an animal is treating them like an object. I think that the moment you do it, you exploit and kill an animal for an optional product, whether that is food, entertainment, clothing, whatever else it is, as long as you don't need it, as long as it is optional, I would say that it is pretty disrespectful, and you are essentially treating an individual like an object simply because you can.
What if it is excess amount of animals? For example, in the US, there's a large amount of hogs that destroy fields and other agriculture. So you have to bring the population down somehow, right? And shouldn't you eat the excess or the animals you kill?
So if the population of humans was detrimental to the environment, as you're claiming, and let's imagine that legally we find a way to kill humans for the sake, should you then consume the flesh of these humans?
I would say no, but that's
Okay.
because I don't set humans. That's because I set humans higher.
Doesn't matter.
Morally.
Because so do you think, okay, let's talk about this whole idea of you value humans more, because do you think it matters? Do you think you should somebody should be oppressed or not based on the value that you give to them, or should it be based on the value that they themselves have?
What do you mean by that?
So you're saying that because you value humans more than you value animals, that means you can do whatever you want to an animal, right? That's essentially kind of what you're saying, shorthanded. So my question is, if you're saying that, then does that mean that somebody who values you less than every other human on this planet for whatever reason, would it be moral if they did whatever they wanted to you and they had the power to do so?
No, because that's not what I'm saying either. I'm
But
not
you're
claiming
saying
that.
your claim is that it is okay to kill and eat animals because you don't value them, because the value you give to them is less, correct?
Yes.
Okay, so that's your moral system, right? You say it is okay to kill an individual because their value, I don't value them as much, right?
But I don't value. Yeah.
Okay, so
But
then why would be the difference if somebody would do exactly the same thing to you, and they would use exactly your justification by saying it's okay, it's moral because I don't value him?
because I define humans as the as the term, or yeah, I value all humans.
Why?
So I would be considered into that because we're the same species.
So if I'm not the same species as you, because genetically I mutated and I'm not the same species as you, would it be okay to oppress and kill me?
But we are, no?
But that's not what I'm asking. I'm asking if I weren't, hypothetically, would it be okay to exploit and kill me?
But we aren't.
That's not the question, though. Do you understand what a hypothetical is?
Yes, but I don't understand the hypothetical claiming that you are a different species.
What is a species?
In what sense? We can breed with each other.
There you go. So I cannot breed with any single human being on this planet. I'm a different species. So based on your definition, I should be okay to exploit and kill me, correct?
If you are, yeah.
If I am, okay. So, really? So you were saying that somebody... Okay, then let me know, how do you know that every single individual who you meet on this planet is even of the species humans?
But we are, no?
How would you know?
Because we are.
How would you know? You define
I mean,
species.
how would you know
you
God
define
exists? Like what?
God doesn't exist, but you define species.
Yeah, I agree, but
So you define species
how do you
as
prove, how
being
do you
able.
prove it that it doesn't?
So you define species as being able to procreate with members of the same species. How would you know if somebody who's in front of you can procreate with other members of the same species?
I mean, we are all humans. I don't know what you mean by that.
But how would you know? Like the whole thing about it, right? Is because it. How would you know if I'm human? It's a simple question.
you're
There's no
talking.
gotcha there.
Because you're talking to me.
Because I'm talking to you, and because I don't know, look like a human, correct?
Because we have no evidence of other animals that can talk.
But we have AI who can talk, so it doesn't really matter. That's not the point. But you have evidence
Yeah,
that
but
that I'm human because so you know that I'm human, or you know that I somehow have value because of how I look like, correct?
Yeah.
Okay. So if it is based on how I look like, then surely you would say, okay, I'm gonna do this experiment with you. That I did with another person earlier. So, we ended up bioengineering pigs so that we can grow organs specifically for humans. So let's imagine that a human being has an issue. We grow these organs. And now all of the organs inside of them, because they're just getting organ failure throughout it all. And now all of the organs inside of them are coming from pigs. Is this individual still human?
If they have the same brain, I guess.
So it's all about the brain.
Insane. I believe that humans essentially is in the brain.
Okay. So now let's put it this way. Let's imagine that this person has brain cancer. And the only way to save them, unfortunately, we cannot move their consciousness into a machine because we don't have that technology. But we can, hypothetically speaking, do that into the brain of a pig. So that pig would essentially have the same experiences and memories that human had, but they would be in the brain and body of a pig. Would it be okay to exploit and kill them?
But they would still have been humans, no?
They had the experience of a human. They themselves have never been human, no.
I think that that's more like a different kind of question.
I'm trying to understand what it is about humans that you value.
Veganism?
I'm trying to understand what it is about humans that you value, because already we ended up with the idea of a brain. So animals also have brains. Why essentially do you value a human brain over an animal's brain?
I value past, present, or future life. Past, present, or future human life or consciousness.
But animals are also conscious. So why is it that you value specifically human life? Like you understand, like your human is just a category in biology. That's all it is. It's just a category. And you're drawing an arbitrary line at a category, right? Because human is a species, as you said. It's just a category. So why is it that all the individuals of this species, of this category, deserve moral consideration, but everybody outside doesn't?
Because I'm the same species.
Okay, but if somebody were to be from outside the species, then them committing genocide to humans, killing humans, it would be okay because they are not the same species.
It wouldn't be okay for me, but for them, maybe.
Well, it's not, listen, okay, so you're one of those people. Okay, so morality is subjective, but it's objectively applied. So it's applied independent of subject. In other words, when you say, let's put it this way, if you have a child in front of you and you're trying to teach them morals and you're trying to teach them your morals, how would you teach them that is it okay or not okay to exploit and kill humans?
By telling them it's wrong to hurt people,
Why?
because it's bad for them as well as for the rest of society.
Okay, so as far as I'm this child right now, okay? And as this child, if it's never going to be bad for me, that means it's okay for me to exploit and kill people, right?
But it would be bad for society, no? For all other humans.
Yeah, why would I care about that?
Because we value humans in
Why?
general.
Why would I value humans?
Because you live in the same society as all
Oh.
other humans.
So if I want to live outside of the society, then me exploiting and killing humans would be okay.
It wouldn't be okay for humans. I don't
But
know
it would be
what-
okay for me. Listen, the whole point that I'm trying to make right now is you're trying to teach moral rules to somebody. And your moral rules, as you stated so far before, as you said, if they're the same species as you, then it's wrong to exploit and kill them, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so if somebody from an outside species, you teach them exactly the same rules as you said now, then that somebody coming in and exploiting and killing humans should be okay because they're following your moral rules by saying, well, you're not my species, therefore it's okay to exploit and kill you.
Yeah.
Yeah. So is that how you want to make it? Is that your moral value?
I would say to a certain extent, yes.
Okay, so then let's we've understand what your values are. So then you agree that somebody from outside your species, if they want to kill a human being, whether it is your mom, your dad, yourself, doesn't really matter, you would find it moral. You would say, thank you, do it again, because it is moral. So let's move on to the next thing.
I wouldn't find it immoral for a lion to kill a human. I wouldn't.
No. That's not what I'm saying. No, you would find it moral if a lion kills a human being. You will say, thank you, take this human being now.
I wouldn't say it was immoral for the lion to kill the human.
It's not, listen, morality, when you judge the morality of an action, it's not, you don't judge it, you don't say the action is moral from the perspective of the person doing the action, because if you do that, then the person who's committing rape would say that what they're doing is moral. Do you understand that? Because maybe they don't have a problem with it. So morality is not judged based on what the person who does it is. As I said, morality is universally applied, and it's only applied to the action, not, oh, well, from the perspective of the person committing the action, it is moral, therefore it is moral. Because again...
So you would say that all lions that eat meat are immoral?
Lions that do it out of necessity. Do lions do it for an optional product? Do lions have choices? Can lions eat anything but meat?
What about a bear that kills and doesn't eat the animals that it kills?
Does a bear have choices? Does a bear know any better?
I mean, he does have a choice to not kill an animal and leave it.
Does he know
there
that?
dying.
Is he aware of that choice?
I would say no, but therefore
go.
I would also say that it wasn't. But therefore it wouldn't be immoral either. And therefore also the point about other species
Yeah.
or aliens coming to our planet and killing wouldn't be immoral in their perspective because they don't know any better.
No. So that's not the point. First of all, no, that's not the point. Do you know the difference between a moral agent and a moral patient?
No.
Okay, so a moral agent is somebody who knows who can distinguish right from wrong. Are you a moral agent? Can you distinguish right from wrong?
I don't believe any humans can do that 100%, but I would say yes, to a certain extent, I can.
Okay, well, a moral patient is somebody who cannot do that. A moral patient is maybe a child is a moral patient, right? A child does not know right from wrong. If a child starts pissing on the wall, they don't know that what they're doing is right or wrong. They're just doing it because, hey, that's how they feel like. Doesn't really matter. So That's also what an animal is doing. They don't know right from wrong. And even if they did know right from wrong, with an animal, it's even more complicated because we wouldn't know. We wouldn't even know if they know right from wrong. We couldn't even judge what they're doing or not. We couldn't even have a conversation with them. So we're ending up in this position where I'm trying to explain to you that your moral values are essentially saying that if an aliens, as you said, are coming to Earth, aliens who are moral agents because they do know right from wrong, if they're capable of enslaving us, they probably are capable of knowing right from wrong. So if these aliens choose to enslave and kill human beings, then you should be fine with it, and you should say that they are acting morally, not according to them, according to your own moral values.
For them, I would say they are not according.
But that's
to
not
them.
how.
I would
Listen,
say
an
that
action.
for their perspective, they do.
Okay. Do you think rape is moral?
Absolutely not.
Wait, but if the person who does it thinks that it is moral, why wouldn't it be? Why aren't you saying for the person doing it is? Why aren't you applying the same thing as you're doing in the other scenario?
Because it afflicts more suffering to humans.
Oh,
And
so wait.
I believe that
No, but we can equalize that. So if somebody like injected a human being with a substance that they would feel absolutely nothing, in fact they would be asleep the whole time, they wouldn't even know it, then raping that person would be okay?
no, because it would still infer that you could be raped in your sleep, and all people on the earth could be scared of that.
Okay, we
So,
can
no,
also
that would
equalize for
be
that.
no
So let's imagine that it's okay. They're never going to rape you or any other person, just this one person. They're only going to do it to this one specific person. Would it be okay?
No, because if you allow it once, you could allow it many
No,
times.
no. Just
But
again. No, it's not that if you allow it once, you allow it every time. This is the only time they do it and then they die. This person will rape somebody and then they'll die. That's what they think they need to do. Is it okay is rape then okay?
No, because then others, other humans that don't die, can also do it.
Other humans will not find out about it. Listen, man, we can equalize we can be here all day. Nobody can find out about it. This is an isolated case in the jungle. This person does it to a human being. This human being does not feel anything happening to them. They would just want to rape that person and then they die. Would that be moral?
No.
But it is to them. They would assume it is moral. So yet again, when I ask you, if somebody's killing a member of another species and that, like an alien comes to Earth and kills a human being, you say it is moral to them. But in this situation, when a rapist wants to commit rape, why aren't you saying it is moral to them?
I don't. I would have to think more about it, but I would definitely say that it is immoral.
So it is immoral if an alien does that to a human being?
No, that I would say no to, but the other one I would say.
What if oh Jesus Christ, man, I swear to God, like you have absolutely no logical consistency in your values, no logic whatsoever, because what exactly is the difference between the situations?
What do you mean?
What is the difference between an alien killing a human being or a human being raping a person in an isolated case where that person doesn't feel pain, and then that person killing themselves?
I mean, rape is a violent act, so that would be immoral in itself.
And killing somebody is not a violent act?
If a human would kill another human, I would say that is immoral. But if a alien stepped on Earth, I wouldn't say that alien acted immorally.
I didn't say
If
if
I'm
an
walking
alien
in the
stepped
woods
on Earth. I said if an alien comes there and kills your mother, you would say that's moral.
It depends.
What does it depend
Dude,
on?
what do you mean depends? If aliens comes today and like they trying to do shit, we're probably gonna wipe them out. You know?
What does it depend on?
It depends on why they're acting like that.
Because they
are
want to.
doing
They
that.
get
It depends
pleasure
on
out of it. Just like you get pleasure out of it. They get some form of tingly sensation in their brain when they do it. Or not even when they do it, but somewhere down the line, after they do it, they chop up them into pieces and they eat them. Or whatever reason. Doesn't matter. They get some tingly sensation from the whole thing in their brain. As you do when you eat animal products. So would that be moral?
I mean, I don't eat that much animal products. I'm
That's not the
vegetarian, so-
question. Is that moral?
No.
Okay, so that's not moral. Okay, so we've established that an alien killing a human being for optional products is not moral. Okay, love it. So, they're different species though. So, why would it be then moral for you to kill an animal for an optional product?
To harvest excess from and be able to survive.
Okay, so you said you're a vegetarian, so let's talk specifically about your case. Why would it be okay to impregnate a cow, kill their babies, and steal their milk because you want to?
I disagree with that type of farming. So
Oh, why does a cow produce milk in the first place?
for the calves.
For their babies, exactly. So do you think that farmers just sit around and wait until the cows get pregnant, or do you think farmers impregnate them?
I think farmers impregnate them, and
Is that moral?
I'm not going to say that because I disagree with that type of farming. So
Wait, I'm asking you, in what type of farming do you think there's a type of farming where farmers wait around for cows to get pregnant?
I would. It's possible to do that.
I'm not asking if it's possible. I'm asking for the products that you buy. Do you think farmers wait around for the cows to get pregnant?
No, I don't. And
Okay.
I believe we shouldn't do that.
Okay,
either.
so then why do you continue to support something that you say is immoral?
Because I said earlier that I support some types of farming, but not the industry that it has become right now.
Well, it sounds to
The
me
industrial
like you are.
industry it is
It
now.
sounds to me like you are supporting exactly something that you said is immoral, because we decided upon one simple action, and that is the farmer impregnating the cow. And you said that you are supporting this right now. You are buying products that come out of this. So why is it that you're
But
supporting this?
that's exactly what I didn't say. I don't support that type of farming. The
So
farming
okay,
I support
so
is a free reign farming where you have them go outside.
I never said if they're outside or inside. I asked you, does the farmer
Yeah, but
impregnate
go
the
inside and
cows?
get
So what you're
naturally
saying is that you buy
fresh.
products from a farm where farmers never impregnate cows, correct?
If they let the buck go with the herd, then or the ox go with the herd and naturally impregnate them, then that's fine to take the excess.
So what you're saying, again, is that the products that you're buying come out of no form of artificial insemination whatsoever, no form of separating the males from the females, no form of any form of forceful insemination, nothing. A cow on the farm that you're buying gets pregnant once or twice in 24 years of lifetime, because that's how often they would want to get pregnant, right? Maybe 3 times. And that's where you buy your products from. They still feed the babies, and you just get the quote-unquote excess milk. That's what you're essentially buying, right? That's what you're farming. That's the farming that you're supporting right now.
Yeah.
Can you please give me a link to this farm?
No. I'm supporting that we should change to that, and that type of farming is good.
First of all, no, that type of farming is still not good, because yet again, first of all, you're not supporting that type of farming. That type of farming is incredibly detrimental to the environment, incredibly detrimental. Imagine keeping a cow alive for 24 years, to get 20 liters of milk out of her. That's insane, man. That's like you would have to, like the amount of protein that you would have to feed them for 24 years, the amount of food that you would have to feed that cow, you could feed thousands of people. So let alone that
But-
fact, you would still
What-
morally
Did you say
be
they use
exploiting
20
and killing
liters
an
of
individual.
lifetime?
Hold on.
For example,
Hold
in
on.
my country where I'm from,
Right, stop.
only 10% of the land area is farmable. However, 50% of the land area is
Where do you
possible
live?
to have free reign.
Where do you live?
Norway.
Hmm?
Norway.
Okay.
Real
Do you
quick,
think
look,
Norway
if anyone-
imports? Do you think Norway imports their like corn and soy from other countries?
Absolutely.
Okay. What do you think most of the corn and soy that Norway imports is used for?
I think it's used for feed.
Yeah, exactly. So everything you
And
just said
that's
means
what I
absolutely
don't
nothing.
want. But I want to change the farming industry instead of.
I'm losing my
banning-
patience with you. Okay, I'm losing my patience. Let's just go to a simple fact, okay? As we said, impregnating the cow. Impregnating the cow, okay? Do you think that the products you are buying right now come from a farm that do not impregnate cows, that do not keep the bull separate, or that do not take the baby away from the mother? Ever.
No.
Okay, so any of these things that I mentioned, are they moral?
To a certain extent, yes, and to others, no.
Okay, so let's take it, because I swear to God, man, like it's like, so impregnating a cow, you already decided it's immoral. Okay, now, do you think that keeping a bull separate from the rest of the females is moral?
To keep them from hurting each other, yes.
No, not to keep them from hurting each other. Come on, man. Like, you're not stupid, right? It's to keep them to keep them separate, because they only want to get them pregnant when they want to control the breeding process. That's what farming is. It's controlling the breeding process of
Yes.
animals.
And I do believe that's wrong.
So that's wrong. Okay. How about taking the babies away from them? Is that wrong?
Yeah.
Okay. So it seems like everything I mentioned is wrong, but when I ask you if you buy your products from a farm that does any of these things, you say no.
Because I don't have the options to buy it from others.
Okay, so if you don't have the options to buy it from others, but you have the options to live and be healthy from other sources, like plant-based sources, what makes it okay to pay for this thing?
That's why I want to change the farming industry.
Sure, you want to do that, but what makes it okay for you to continue supporting the farming industry that you disagree with?
Because of where I live and how expensive.
Do
it
you
is
have
for
other
me.
options?
I would say yes, but I couldn't like go. I would have to live very minimally to do it.
I don't know if I swear to God, man, like you just bring up the most nonsensical excuses ever. You live in Norway, dude. What are you talking about? Like, honest to God, what are
Me.
you talking about? You have options up the wazoo. What exactly do you need to stop supporting animal exploitation? Like, what exactly do you need to stop it?
I need money. I am a student.
Okay, so if you find out that it is healthier for you to not oppress animals, then you're gonna stop oppressing animals today, right now.
If it's healthier, I would rather have a bit of money instead.
If it's, I said,
was
if
the
it's
question?
cheaper, that was the question. So if you find out that it could
Oh,
be,
I
you
see.
could be
Okay,
living
okay.
within your means, within your budget, on a plant-based diet, are you gonna stop oppressing animals?
It's a lot easier for me to get the
What was the
vitamins
question?
I need
What was the
from
question?
like milk.
What was the question?
If it was cheaper, I would.
So if it's cheaper, you would stop oppressing animal if it's cheaper.
If it's cheaper and good for the environment.
Yeah, there you go. Luckily, there is such a thing called challenge22.com. They hook you up with a nutritionist, they send you recipes every day, and they help you adopt a plant-based diet for free within your budget, within your area, within your convenience. Are you gonna stop oppressing animals now? I put it in the chat. In the chat on Discord.
Yeah, I will look into it.
Oh, how many more animals should be exploited, killed, treated like an object, slaughtered for you from now on?
I would at least buy a little bit more dairy products.
That wasn't the question.
A few would.
So you would still gonna support animal exploitation, even though you have the option not to, correct? Even though what you're doing is wrong, you're gonna continue doing it. Why is that?
Because it's easier.
How is it easier
I don't know.
than having access to a freaking nutritionist who would send you recipes, who would help you out within your area, within your budget? How is that easier? How is anything else easier than that?
I would have to look into that before I change everything.
What exactly
But
do you need to look into?
the nutritionist and the things I haven't, and the link you sent, I haven't looked at it yet.
Okay, so how many more animals should be exploited and killed until you look? That's the resource that I provided.
I mean, I have to eat today.
You don't have to exploit and kill animals today.
Did he leave?
Yeah. No, I'm here.
It was someone else.
I mean, the excuses for the oppression that you're causing, man, you're just... I don't get it. Why, like, the cognitive dissonance is this strong with you that you'd rather bring excuses instead of, when somebody provides you with a solution, to no longer do something that you know is wrong. Why do you want to find excuses to continue doing it?
I think you are kind of putting words into my mouth because, like I mentioned earlier, I think that we should be able to harvest excess from nature, and that includes animals.
That includes humans also, right? Humans die. Should we be able to harvest humans? Excess humans?
I don't think it's... I think that it's not immoral for the tribes that do that.
I'm done with it. You don't know what morality is anyway, so that doesn't really apply. Like us talking about what is moral and what is immoral, as we've tried for almost 30 minutes now, you don't really know what morality is. So I don't think it's a relevant conversation to know what is moral and what is immoral. But you've reached a point where you said sexually exploiting cow, taking their babies away from them, and all of the things that farming does, which is killing their babies, killing the cows when they no longer produce, all of it is immoral. It is wrong according to you. And you continue to support it. And I provided you with a solution to stop. And when I ask you how many more animals should go through this position from now on, you're saying, a couple more. So I'm just going to do a little bit more of the wrong, with something I consider wrong. Because you don't really, you don't really care about animals, do you?
I do.
Oh, no, you don't, brother. How can you say you care about animals when you disregard their whole existence because you don't want to look more into it, or you don't want to put in the bare minimum of effort of putting your name and an email in a website?
Bruh. Yikes.
But yeah, I think we're done having this conversation because you just always, as I said, we try to come up with excuses instead of looking at the solution. Instead of looking for solutions, you could come up with excuses.
Okay, yeah.
Yo,
Yeah.
am I on?
Yep.
Master Dave has been here for over an hour. I'm not sure if he wants to mic up and have a conversation.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes.
Yeah, I'm happy to chat for a bit, sure.
Also, if anyone else wants to chat, we welcome you in a side channel. If you really want to ask like really quick questions, important questions, you can type in the chat. But go ahead, Dave.
Yeah, well, it's good to be here, and I respect you for chatting to me because I know, obviously, at the moment I'm not a vegan, and like I respect anyone for just being able to talk to me without having an argument. You know, like I just want to understand things more, kind of deal with some of my own conflictions I have about everything, and kind of move. So I was on. So first I went vegetarian, then I moved to a completely plant-based diet before. I sort of fell out of that. After my accident because I couldn't cook anymore, and just I guess no one else that I lived with at the time was plant-based, so it just became more convenient to kind of eat what they were eating, and then kind of got out of the habit of it really, and something I'd like to move back to definitely, because I do completely agree with the vegan movement. Like I think animal cruelty, animal farming, like especially mass farming and having worked around it for a long time, and seen it and been in it, it's a bloody miserable place for the people and the animals involved. I don't really understand why people do it or put animals through it, and up until quite recently through my pest control company, I've been around dairy farms, and that's really a hard place to be around because on the surface when you go there, they'll always try and say, oh, these cows are happy and they're looked after, and you might think that, especially if you were to go there in the summer and you not there for very long, so you kind of don't see, when the cows are out in the fields and they look happy and you think, oh, that's great. But as soon as the fields get wet, they're all pulled inside and they're kept inside for the entire winter on concrete floor. And this is out of the farms I've been to, I'd say this is probably the best one I've been to in terms of dairy farms. And I'm there for rats, so that's what I do for a job is deal with rat problems. And it's infested with rats because the cows are in a confined space. There's food there, so obviously rats are just obviously going to be there. And I've witnessed artificial insemination. I've witnessed them taking calves away from mothers, and it's quite an emotional thing to watch, and obviously I can't, it's something that I now don't work on any like meat farming or animal product farming anymore around that. I knocked that on the head after I kind of had to face that because I found it really hard, to understand why anyone would do that, and then try and kind of, and the farmers will always say, I love my animals, and maybe they think they do. I don't know. I don't understand how that works personally. How can you love something that much that you're willing to take it away from its mother? I don't get it, but who knows? I don't really understand it. That kind of doesn't make sense to me. But yeah, at the moment, so I'm not vegan, but I'm I've commented on Chip's channel quite a bit, trying to kind of understand, more about it and move back towards it. But yeah, just kind of here to chat and get some opinions and just chat to people, really.
What is keeping you right now from being vegan?
Mainly like diet wise, is mainly because through my injuries, I had a really bad accident a few years ago at work. I broke my pelvis, my back, tore a load of muscles. I've got permanent nerve damage in one of my legs, so I can't walk at the moment properly. So I spend a lot of time just in bed. So when I was eating plant-based before, I was cooking all my meals from scratch. I don't really like meat replacements. I'm more of a fan of cooking with veg, and I really loved it. And I had a great diet, and I felt better. I think, definitely was healthier. I lost loads of weight, and felt really good. And that was before my accident. After my accident, I was I was wheelchair bound and bed bound like 24/7. So everyone that was cooking and eating that was in my house at the time, none of them were on a vegan diet or plant-based diet. So it just became easier to eat what they were eating, and I was quite a big burden anyway because I couldn't do anything for myself. I couldn't even go to the toilet by myself. So I kind of got away from it. And then since then, I think it's just been that false, what I will admit is that false sense of convenience of it's easier to just choose meat, but it's not really, it's just, I think that's an illusion, and that I've probably been suckered back into again, to be honest. And it's something that sort of I'm hoping from my next online shop, I'm going to be changing back over to, plant-based, which would be nice, but it's going to be harder now. I can't cook for myself. I think just because, my kind of limits of cooking at the moment are something I can quickly stick in the oven. So it kind of limits me to kind of easy stuff. And so my options are more limited, but I think there's enough stuff out there now that I can, ready meals, stuff that I can cook. I think, like just by shoving it in the oven and stuff like that, I probably can do it now. Whereas before, I couldn't cook for myself at all. So it was, I was having to have someone cook for me. And now I live alone, and I'm getting a support worker to come and help me with cooking and stuff. I'm kind of hoping that that'll all tie in and I can get back to it really. But yeah, just really nice to have a chat to a few people about it, because it's kind of something I've been sort of conflicted over for a while, because I don't agree with the meat industry or animal, product industry in any way, but sort of find myself still involved in it. It's quite hard, I guess. I don't really know if that makes any sense.
Hi, Dave. I'm Alex
Oh, yeah.
from Germany, animal rights activist. I was wondering where you're from.
I'm from the UK.
From the UK, okay.
Yeah.
I don't know if that helps, but I'm also like a very lazy person when it comes to cooking. So
Yeah.
because I cannot cook, I literally never learned it, and I think I'm also very unable to learn it, quite
Yeah,
frankly.
yeah.
I can maybe make water boil, but that's that.
Yeah.
So my solution, yeah, my personal solution was actually something that Chip was introducing me to. There's a brand, and I think they're also available in the UK. They're called Every Foods, and you can order. It's all vegan on their page, and they
Yeah,
have
yeah.
ready like frozen meals, very very delicious, high in quality. Price is fine if you order a bigger amount, like for a month or so. And if you have the space in your deep refrigerator, I don't know how you call it, like the deep
Yeah,
freezing
yeah, yeah.
stuff. And for me, it takes 5 to 10 minutes and a block of tofu to add. And then I have a perfectly fine, healthy vegan meal ready to go that tastes delicious, and I don't have to cook. I'm absolutely fine with that. And if there's anything that I could recommend to anyone for an easy way to get a nice vegan meal, that's the first thing I can recommend you from my heart, really. I'm such a huge fan of that brand, and Every Foods, they have a lot of stuff online, so maybe you look into that.
Yeah, I'm
Alexandra,
having a look now. It looks great.
they're not in the UK, sadly, no. But
Ah.
but
I'm sorry.
what's his name? There is an
Luke.
activist.
My name. Yeah.
Oh, hey, look. So there is an
Yeah.
activist who actually does the exact same thing, just like frozen meals in UK, and sends it to people.
Okay.
But you can also find a lot of frozen meals in the supermarket nowadays. There's a brand called Lazy
Yeah, yeah.
Vegan that does the same thing.
Yeah.
But let me find out exactly what this brand is from this person who does it in UK.
Me and Tones and Vegan Gays are all British, and you guys are just like guessing.
Oh,
about-
sorry. Yeah,
No,
yeah.
I'm just
You go. You guys know better. Yeah.
You know better than,
Um,
yeah, sorry.
I know, Vegan
Uh,
Gays, you're pretty lazy, right, with your meals?
Yeah, I am playing Call of Duty. Sorry if my mic is bad.
Fine.
Sorry. Yeah, it's good. Like Bosch just came out with some microwave meals. You know, you can go to Tesco, and I think that is it even Waitrose. They do like a whole like Indian feast for two or something like that. You can
Yeah.
buy all sorts now. I can cook. I do cook for my partner and I, but like I have been a student and I've been through episodes where I haven't really been able to cook. And it's you can get those plant-based meals now. You know, you can even, you know, like you said you don't really like the meat, the like, vegan meat, right?
Yeah, I've never been a fan of it. Like, to me, like, the best thing about going to a plant-based diet was cooking with plants, and I really, really enjoyed it. You know, I think like anyone that says that veg isn't tasty just hasn't cooked it right. I love cooking, and like for me, the biggest game changer was courgettes. The amount of stuff you can do with courgettes, I cannot get enough of them, and I really miss cooking with them. And it's something that I'm getting some adaptations made into my kitchen, so I'll be able to cook easier in there, and also getting hopefully a support or social worker to come out and help me cook. So I'll be able to do some cooking, which was really nice because I massively miss it. But that's not going to be like an everyday thing. You know, like I'm not going to be able to cook every day for a while. I know I'm in rehabilitation for walking at the moment, and it's like because I've been laid up for so long, like I've lost a lot like of muscle tone. So that's going to be hard to get back. But yeah, it's something that I've to me, like the whole for me, I know it's not the same for everyone. Like the best bit about the plant-based diet was cooking from scratch with plants and making stuff that just tastes way better than anyone could ever say that meat ever would. It's I don't care what anyone says. For me, that's what I loved about it. And I think people that say vegetables are bland or they're not tasty or whatever, they just not cooked. They just haven't cooked them right. You can't beat it if it's cooked right. I don't think.
So there is this.
Like with the courgettes thing, like I make them for my partner. She loves courgettes, but I literally just get a vegan chicken breast and courgettes, and she has some microwave rice, and that's her dinner. And it's one of the quick and easy things. But the guy who's in the UK who does the microwave meals, that's Plant Geezer.
Yeah, I was gonna say about him. Yeah, I dropped a link. He does meal prep and send every day. I put a link just now in the chat. In the chat on Discord. Sorry.
I appreciate that. But yeah, it's helpful to have some resources.
Dave, I wanted to ask something else about that. I think we provided you with a little bit of resource, and I think there's much more to discover. But do you think realistically that there would be a way to be vegan from now on for you? Like even if you would have to find a way for it, but would there be realistically a way for you to not demand animals to be exploited anymore for you?
I think it's hard. So I guess my line of work may or may not be very popular with vegans because obviously I do pest control for work. I run my own business doing it. And it's something that I got into a while back because of animal cruelty, mainly because I can't remember where I was, but I saw an animal that had been poisoned, a rat. And, I know people don't like rats, but they're still animals, they still don't need to be suffering. And I just saw it and it was so helpless and it was obviously in so much pain. And I just thought there has to be a less cruel way of doing this. So please don't hate me for it, but, I guess I have to be open. So I've always shot from when I was young, and I moved over to I looked into it, and so now when there's no other way of getting rid of them, which a lot of the times I get called out to places where they have mass infestations, there's no way we could remove them. It's not so bad if there's if it's a domestic thing and there's a few, then they can be trapped and moved, and that's fine. But when we're talking, some of the farms I've been on have had thousands of rats. Great, especially around grain farms and stuff like that. Grain handling stuff seems to be attract rats by the thousand. And so I moved over to shooting when they're gone instantly. They don't suffer. And I've converted a lot of people away from using poison traps. I've even uncovered some people still using glue traps, which are obviously illegal in most cases over here now, which I reported, although I did lose them as a client because I reported them. But I can't believe that anyone still uses glue traps. It's something that I just can't understand. And that's what I moved over to doing. And yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, sorry for interrupting. I think that was not the question I was aiming for. I mean, I can understand that up to a certain amount, we will always be in a situation where we have to kill other animals to protect our crops, for example. And within the vegan philosophy, that's something that is it is excusable, if not, it is not justifiable from the victim's perspective. It is never.
No, I understand.
I would not yeah, of course. But I think it's excusable for us to survive on crops at least. But I
Yeah.
was wondering that from all the other points of the vegan philosophy, like I just repeat it because sometimes people don't know. Veganism is the principle that humans should live without the exploitation of other animals. Of course, the result from that is that we don't eat them, we don't wear them, we don't test on them, we
Yeah.
don't use them as a means to an end for our entertainment, for transport, for pet breeding, whatsoever. Do you agree with that?
Yes, I do agree with that.
Okay.
Something that did come up in the chat was that I ride motorcycles, and because I have raced and intend to race again, at the moment, there's the only thing that you can legally race in is leather, and that's been the case for a long time, and I don't unfortunately foresee it changing anytime soon. Now, I do have leathers that I bought secondhand for the same reason I didn't want to buy them new, because you buy them to order and then stuff's killed to order, and like I bought them secondhand. I've always worn secondhand leathers for that reason, but it's something that I wrote or sort of did bring up in the text chat, because I was sort of asking about the morality behind wearing secondhand leather, and what people, what the vegan, I guess, from vegans, what your opinion is on that, and why. Another question would be why there's not. I guess maybe because it's such a small amount of people, but why there's not a bigger kind of push to try and get animal-free textiles, maybe certified for motorcycle
Yeah.
racing, because there's none of it, and I don't
I
understand.
believe we went through this in the chat already, Dave, did we not?
Briefly, yeah.
I'm not sure the level of synthetic certification for racing, whether it would be up to standard or not, I don't know. But we already agreed that you could buy secondhand leathers if it's not driving demand for new leather. Yes?
Yeah.
And you also could keep your leathers, your current leathers, even if you were to go vegan, you wouldn't have to throw them in the bin. You could still continue to use them until they were no longer usable.
Yeah. Okay.
But as for the certification for racing, I'm unsure how strict they are, if any of the synthetics are up to scratch, because I'm only a road rider. I'm not a racer, so I don't know.
So far as I know, there are none yet that have been certified. Which I find a bit silly. Really, there's so much, like you can buy a bulletproof vest or a stab-proof vest, and all that sort of stuff. Well, I own quite a lot of that gear from when I used to work security, and none of those have any animal products in. If they can make that stuff that can resist all those things, why can't they make it for motorcyclists and have it certified? It seems there's this big.
I think the market's sorry, Radical. I think the market's so small for vegan bikers that there's not really any demand there at the moment.
Yeah, I hope that's something that changes in the future. I mean,
I do
it
as
would
well,
probably
because
be
the choice is
better
very
material,
limiting.
And it would probably be lighter as well, because leather's heavy, as you probably know. If you made that out of something else, like plant-based, I can't imagine it would be heavier. It would probably be lighter, stronger, and better. I can't see it would be any worse.
Yeah,
It just
it's crazy. It's crazy that we have material and that we developed stuff that protects us from being literally in space. That is super high quality and super thin and light for at least the stuff that they wear beneath their astronaut suits. I think there will be a time for sure that they start producing vegan racing suits, or however you call it, in a way that it's available for more people. I have a personal story from that. My brother, who I turned vegan on the spot, he was also racing with his bike a lot, but he didn't want to race wearing the skin of someone else. And so what he did was he stopped racing. That's just an anecdote. That's just for you to have a different view on that. Because one thing I noticed you talking about animals is that you refer to them as stuff or it or something. And I think when you have vegan values, which you may have, I don't really know, but if you have, I think one of the first things that pull the switch in your head is that you switch from considering them as objects and to considering them as subjects, because they have a subjective experience. And once that switch hits, you gotta ask yourself, where is the difference in wearing the skin of another human who was exploited to death for it, just from the symbolic value of it, and wearing the skin of another animal who was exploited to death for it? Is there any difference? And do you feel comfortable like wearing that or showing that to the world? I think it is not a violation of anyone's interests if we wear or buy secondhand leather. I think
Yeah.
you're not violating someone's interests actively, but in my opinion, I personally think that you still send out the message to the world in a way that it's okay to run around with the skin of someone who was exploited to death. So maybe that's just some food for thought for you. Although, of course, I understand if racing is something that you've done for your entire life and that's a hobby and you love it. Of course, I understand the emotional value that has to you too.
Yeah.
So I just want to point this out, because from my personal experience, when I went vegan, also overnight, by the way, I still had my leather boots, and boy, you can't believe me, I love those leather boots so much. I was wearing them all throughout the globe where I was traveling in different countries. I was so happy when I finally found them. I was dreaming of them, and I finally found the perfect boots. I had them for 10 years plus. Doc Martens, of course, very, very
Yeah.
cool boots. But the first day I was wearing them after I turned vegan, I remember it very vividly. I was sitting on the tram, public transport, and I was looking down, and all I could see was what was behind that. And I was like literally seeing the skin structure on this leather, and I could see the pores and the uneven surface of the skin. Our skin is an organ, and it's never the same. It's not a repetitive pattern. Skin looks different at different places, and I saw that with these leather boots, and it reminded me so much of the subject that was once inhabiting the skin. And so I felt so uncomfortable that ever since then I could not wear them. I couldn't do it. So I also couldn't throw them out. I also couldn't give them to someone else. I couldn't sell them. I didn't feel comfortable with any of that. And so I just packed them up into a bag. I closed it. I put it in the basement. And 5 years later, I was giving them like to a homeless shelter. So at least people have warm feet in winter.
Yeah.
And I think that was the way how I started to deal with that. I just want to open that perspective to you, because I think when we talk about this issue, it's not only about what we demand other animals to go through. If we are not vegan, we demand them to be exploited, but also how we view them in general. So maybe that's some food for thought for you.
One
Yeah, I
second
really
before.
appreciate that. Carry on.
So there is a suit. Apparently, it's called Andromeda Near X suit, and it is exactly that. Tone, I know, rides a motorcycle if I'm not mistaken, and Tone has checked it out. It does have an AAA certification, and it is not made of leather, so it does say it's the strongest protection or whatever. Maybe you can check that out if you ever want to, but yeah, what Alexandra
Yes, I
said was
will
very valid.
definitely have a look at that. I'm now looking at it. Apparently, they are track rated. That's amazing.
17092 rating.
Yes, that's fantastic. Yeah, I'll keep that on my bookmarks. That's brilliant. Thank you for that. Yeah, I guess back to that point, like firstly regarding like the way I refer to animals, I think that's just through, it's not me trying to refer to them as objects to kind of disassociate myself from them. Like I understand having been around it, and I've worked when I was younger in like a slaughterhouse, a duck slaughterhouse, and I've obviously worked on farms up until fairly recently. So I do understand the kind of misery and torture they go through, and it's. But I think the vocabulary that I use to describe it just comes from habit and being brought up with that vocabulary. It's not me trying to disrespect, or diminish their experience. I do understand, that they have their own subjective experience, and I really, really appreciate that. And so anything I say, if it comes across like I'm trying to diminish that, it's not intentional. And secondly, about the skin thing, it's funny that you say that. It's kind of quite recently that I started looking at my leathers and finding them ugly for that same reason. No, at the moment I don't have anything else, to wear, and nor can I, at the moment, can I afford to buy anything else to wear on the bike. But I started looking at the leather and seeing it in exactly the same way that you did, as skin rather than as leather. Because leather is just another word that's used to disassociate it, the same way that beef, is to disassociate it from being a cow. It's the same thing, isn't it? And I started looking at it as skin, and I find them quite ugly. And in terms of that, it's you think if a person, which people have done in the past, obviously, like got some quite famous serial killers, I guess you'd call them, have done similar things with human skin, and people don't agree with that. But when we do it with animal skin, that seems to be quite well accepted. And it is quite shocking when you think about it that way. It's hard. It's raised a lot of interesting points for me today. I think the text chat and chatting to you on voice has been really interesting for me. So I appreciate the conversation. But yeah, if there's anything else you want to ask or tell me, I'm all ears. So.
Can you? I added you as a friend on Discord. I requested. I will send you I found 3 options for food in UK, and there's also this suit. Of course, it will depend on your preferences, on all of that stuff, but there are plenty of options, and UK is it's like the king of vegan foods. I don't know, maybe Germany has better, but there are so many options, and you seem like a compassionate person. You seem like you understand the problem. So I gotta ask, it's this question that I got from Alexandra specifically. Knowing that you have all of these options, how many more animals should be exploited and killed for you from now on?
I mean, I think none, in terms of within the boundaries of the things that we've discussed. My next shop is going to be plant-based. I'm hoping everything will be plant-based on it. I mean, a lot of it's not a massive issue for me because my son is vegan by allergies, so it's not his choice. But there's lots of things we can't have in the house. So he's anaphylactic to egg, so that rules out eggs. He's severely allergic to cow's milk, so that rules out cow's milk. So there's lots of things that I've been used to living without for a long time. And so that's like milk, for example, it's an easy one for me. So I prefer oat milk anyway. I don't know why anyone wouldn't. I think it's amazing. But so there's lots of things that are easy. I think it's just comes down to just actively making that choice the first couple of times to buy the plant-based option. I don't think any more animals should be exploited for me, not for my taste preference. And I think that's
Well, then let's go. Let's
Yeah.
go. Are you vegan from now on then?
Who's vegan?
I'm gonna try. Certainly,
Hell yeah.
Do we
plant-based diet.
try
Yeah.
justice, or are we just to others? We don't just try justice. No, we are just to
Yeah.
others. I think
Yeah.
from what I can hear from you and the way you're vocal about that right now, I think it's a fair assumption that you're more on the side of the animals, and now
Yeah.
we are just trying to push you very violently on the side
Yeah.
of the other animals. So I think the first step for you is really to take the stance and to say, okay, you know what, I will be vegan from now on, because admitting that makes it easier for you. It makes it
Yeah.
easier for future decisions you're going to make, and it makes it easier for your mind as well to not look for excuses but for solutions.
Yeah.
So
I'll go with that.
happy announcement day. You're a vegan from
Yeah.
now on. Let's throw confetti. Welcome on the good side, I guess.
Yeah, I'll
Who's
run with that. I'm
vegan?
happy. Oh, yeah.
Who's vegan?
Thank you.
Wait, hold
Me.
on, Florence. Florence, give it a second.
Master
Jesus.
Dave is vegan.
Yeah.
He just said it. We all heard
Hell
it,
yeah.
and we recorded it, and we will call him out publicly. No, it's fine.
No, I appreciate that.
Guys, is it
no,
okay to be vegan?
Bro,
like,
It's
I have
of
to
course
shut.
it's the
Just
bare
wait,
minimum,
man.
isn't it?
Just wait a second, man.
but I
No,
think
I'm interested, guys.
the biggest thing that changed me, like that really kind of made me realize like that I'd slipped back so far, was I was on the last night I did on the dairy farm, and I saw a calf be born, and it was at night, so the farmer was not there, and so I got to spend a lot of time with it, and it was really amazing to see that and to watch it take its first steps and watch it drink its first milk, and then knowing that in a few hours when the farm woke up, it'd be removed. And that is what really got me, to be. And I think, people, like you say, you go to these like animal centers or these farms that you can go to, take your kids there, and it's very removed from the actual reality of farming. It's not a farm, is it? It's a petting zoo, and people go there and they think, oh, these animals have an amazing life and everything like that, but they don't see
They don't see. Yeah, they don't see the beginning and the end. They just see a short period in between where it seems to be okayish and nice, but they don't see the entire picture. And I think once you see it, it can never be unseen again. And so actually, it was really good that you've been on that farm and that you've witnessed that, and that switch
it still
kind of
haunts me
happened
though.
there already.
Like
I can
that
imagine.
image.
If I will be a vegan, I'm gonna be slim, yes? Or it is just meat?
Hold on,
Jesus Christ. Dude, wait a second.
Man, you said Jesus Christ, man. That is a sin, man. Don't say it.
It's a sin to
Hold
say
on.
Jesus Christ. Just stop, man, for a second.
Guys, I gotta leave in a couple of minutes. I just want to say, Dave, thank you for being open-minded and for being a reasonable person. And if you ever need any help, I think there are a lot of people within this Discord, or at least within this room of Discord, that are able to help you out. So if you have any thing you need assistance with, just contact us. And
I will do.
welcome on the side of the other animals.
I really
we need
appreciate all your
people
help
like
and
you
advice
in
today.
Beirut.
I guess it's been really hard, and I hope I'm not talking for too long. And if anyone says that it's my turn over, that's fine. But like, it's been hard for me, like with my job and also with the leathers, the motorcycle leather thing and everything like that, for me to kind of keep thinking myself, well, I can't be a vegan because of those things. So I've kind of like, I guess, put it off because I feel like, well, but that's the thing. You kind of always think, well, I can't. To me, I think, well, I can't be a vegan because how would I deal with this problem and how would I change this problem? And but to have those questions answered today has been really, really good for me. So that's helped me a lot.
Yeah, and how we deal with problems is we think about them and we find solutions. And I think this is what you're here for and what we are here for too. And you know what? When people are open-minded and not shit-talking and stuff, and when we really feel that they are really concerned about the other animals, I think conversations will always have a good outcome, just as our conversation had. So that is also giving me personally hope again, because as an animal rights activist, you hear a lot of shitty conversations and a lot of ignorant people. But it's really nice to have someone like you who's really putting some thought into that, even with the things that might have held you back until now. But we're here for you. So
I really appreciate that.
Any help. Yeah. Okay. I will go offline right now. Have a lot of fun, guys. Still listening for a few minutes.
Thank you for the advice.
Yeah. See you next time. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Guys, I want to ask a question. So if I would be a vegan, is it true that I'm gonna be slim?
No.
Very lean.
No.
How do you like, guys? I thought like vegans are so lean or
This
slim.
is chocolate, man. This is chocolate. I can show you my big belly if you really want to, but
No. Sorry, man. No.
So let me ask you, how do you?
If you want to, yes, come on. Ask.
So what do you think builds muscle?
Of course, meal.
Yeah. So what specifically out of it? Or let me ask you this, because what makes you lose weight?
Steak, man.
What makes you lose weight?
What? Coffee, cigarettes.
Okay, bro.
I don't know if you're
gonna be
trolling. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, man, I'm not trolling, man.
I'm just saying, just as a warning, if you're gonna be trolling like this, after a few warnings, we're gonna kick you.
Okay.
So please have a normal. Yeah.
So you lose weight when you're in a when you're in a caloric deficit. That's it.
Where are you from, guys?
Do you understand what that means?
No, tell me, where are you from? Come on, I just want to know.
You lose weight when you're in a caloric deficit. Do you understand what that means?
No, answer my question, please.
No,
Okay,
I'm
let's
not gonna
not.
answer
We're
your
answering your question.
Next.
Jesus Christ.
I'm gonna give you. Okay, he
I
left.
don't know why people always go to that. It's the stupidest argument.
It wasn't even an argument. He was
No,
just...
it's the stupidest point. It's simple physics. If you use more energy than you take in, you will lose weight, regardless of what diet you're on, whether you're eating meat or plants or anything else. It doesn't make any difference. I don't know why people can't understand. It's basic. It's so basic. You learn that at high school.
Thank you.
Yeah,
really irritating.
Actually, yeah, I was just, I thought that the same way that just you would be slim, but I gained weight when I went vegan. So I did not count my I did not count my calories or stuff. So yeah.
I just became highly muscular.
I didn't eat only watermelon. No.
We're forgetting the essential question now. Chip.
Yeah.
Where are you from?
That was good. I like that. Mazak, do you want to have a question with us? Do you want to have a conversation with us? Did I say a question? Jesus, brain fart.
Oh, how did you get on yesterday, Mazak? Because I had to abandon you and I left you with somebody else. How did you get on with the conversation?
No.
Sorry, what? I was AFK. I was making tea. What are you saying?
You want to have a
I
conversation?
abandoned you in the middle of a conversation yesterday. How did you get on?
I frankly don't remember really. Well, we were talking about soy milk, I think.
Okay.
Oh.
So Mazak, I assume you're not vegan, right?
No.
So what makes animal exploitation for optional products right, in your opinion?
Like, what makes it right?
Yeah.
I don't concern myself with that usually. I just, like, eat it.
So, but if I ask you, is it right or is it wrong for me to exploit an animal for an optional product?
I don't know, man. I don't think there's like some objective threshold.
No, according to your values, no objectivity. Just
according to me, yeah. For me personally, yeah. Like I don't feel the pang of conscience when I eat animals.
That's not what I'm asking you. Yeah. Is it right or is it wrong to exploit an animal for an optional product?
I mean, you're imposing some right or wrong stuff. I don't believe in that shit. I think like
you don't believe that an action can be right or an action can be wrong. You don't believe in morality existing.
Yeah, I would say I do not believe in that.
So wait, is rape wrong or is rape right? Or you don't believe rape can be right or wrong?
Neither. It can be either, depending on
points.
So are you saying rape can be right, can be moral?
No, I don't believe in categories of right and wrong. Like
these are not categories. These are flags that you apply onto something to say to understand whether you should continue doing them or not. So is rape moral?
No.
You can have three answers. It's immoral, it's moral, or it's amoral.
Like agnostic to it, yeah. So you say it's not rape is not moral.
Amoral, yeah. I would say amoral.
Rape is amoral.
What's the difference between immoral and amoral?
Amoral means that it's outside of morality. It means it's neither moral nor immoral.
Yeah, that's amoral, I guess, then.
Yeah,
it's just an action.
So if you see somebody in the news, you open up the newspaper and you see little girl raped, then you're saying, how about that? And you move on. You're not thinking, oh, that's horrible. You're not thinking, oh, that's nice. You're just thinking, how about that? Correct?
Yeah, that's accurate, yes.
Oh no, that's so bad.
Okay, well, let me push him a little bit further. Let me push him a little further.
Can I interject for a moment? Because I was here when he talked to Tones, and I heard him use lots of like morally loaded language like bad, should, wrong, and stuff when he began, of course, with this this spiel. Okay, but then I forgot exactly what he was judging, but yeah, just to let you know, he's
Please.
playing some role right now.
Oh, he's playing a role. He's not being honest. Okay, so
Well, I think yeah, you Isn't that a TOS? No, it's not a TOS break, I think.
But it's
I'm just
okay.
kind of thinking from the corporation.
So Mazak, what you're saying right now is that if somebody rapes your mother, it's okay. It's nothing. There's nothing wrong with it, correct?
No, it is an expression of power against me. I'm gonna.
Oh, it's not against
get
you.
revenge.
It's not against you.
No, it is against me. It's against the people that I care about, egoistically, selfishly care about.
Okay. What if it's against the? What if somebody rapes the best friend of your mother? It has no relationship to you.
No, it still does by association. Is in my interest for her not to get raped.
Well, by that logic, every single person on this planet is related within 6. You know that theory, right? That within 6 connections to everybody else. So this seems like what?
Let me ask you something else. Like,
here we go.
You know, when you grow food, when you grow your vegan food, you still like apply pesticides, you kill insects or stuff like. Do you draw the line on sentience, like I don't know, pests and insects stuff? Like not even pests, like mammals. You kill rodents actually to preserve grain. You kill rodents. Like you are fine with killing rodents, but not fine on killing I don't know, cows. So where do you like? All people like draw the threshold basically at some point, right? Like
no.
I don't understand. Like where is? I think like all thresholds like that.
Required? Is it required or is it not required?
To kill rodents to preserve grain? Yes, of
to
course.
Protect
required.
food.
Otherwise,
right? Yeah. So that's all. That's the whole threshold. If I'm on a deserted island, and I may need to, my survival depended on doing some immoral act, I might do an immoral act to survive. You can't judge somebody when they're in a situation of survival.
Why is the survival more important? Okay, why is the survival more important than the survival of that mouse, basically?
I'm not saying it's more. I did still call it an immoral act. I just said it's justified.
Yeah, but it's immoral act done in a selfish desire to stay alive, basically.
It's still immoral, but it is justified, as I said.
So, like, you draw the line on survivability, right? But what about, I don't know, just advantage of one person? Like, I don't want to just survive on my minimum caloric difference. Like, say I need to kill 5 rodents to get this minimum caloric stuff to not die, but I need to kill 10 so like I can eat my full like vegan breakfast and be like happy about it. Like, would that be still necessary?
You said it's necessary, right? It was your hypothetical.
No, you're just saying like, where do you draw the threshold of what is necessary? Maybe my pleasure is necessary for me. I want to eat meat. I'm fine with it.
A pleasure is not a necessity. Do you understand the difference between pleasure and between necessity and pleasure?
Would life without? No, pleasure is a necessity. What's the point of life?
Oh, no. Pleasure is a necessity. Well, pleasure is not a necessity, first of all. But let's imagine that pleasure would be a necessity. Even if pleasure would be a necessity, you don't need that particular pleasure. That's the point, isn't it? You don't need that particular situation.
That's saying to me, I don't need it. Maybe I'm like, I want
you
it.
You don't need that particular pleasure. You can get taste satisfaction and food satisfaction from plants and plant-based products. Do you not like to eat fries or potatoes?
No, I like it, but I like steak as well.
There you go. So you can get. So there you go. You can get food satisfaction also from plant-based products. In fact, there are a lot of plant-based products that resemble animal products that you 100%, I'm sure, you would not be able to taste the difference. So in that situation, what this tells me is that you can get food satisfaction. You don't need to exploit an animal, and yet you choose to do so. So why would that be moral?
Just my preference.
Okay, so do you think it's moral to commit? Do you think it's moral to exploit somebody because of your preference?
I think those absolute statements without particulars, they do not make sense.
That's
think
what you're doing. Do you think it's moral to well, listen, that's how I started this whole conversation. Do you think it's moral to exploit an innocent animal for an optional product?
A person that eats a lot of meat, like
do you think it's moral to exploit an innocent animal for an optional product?
Yes, absolutely moral. Yes, absolutely.
Okay, so humans are animals, therefore it's okay to exploit humans for an optional product, correct?
Yeah, I guess if you're not stopped about that, like it's been done a long time. No, wait.
So you're okay with human slavery for optional products?
You are typing this from a phone. You are okay with it?
I'm not typing anything. I'm not typing anything from anything.
I don't know. You're using a device with like a cobalt mined in Congo that uses slavery.
No, it's not actually. I actually checked, but thank you for that. No, it's not. But thank you. I actually checked. So yet again, and even if it were, let's imagine that it were, that would still be an appeal to hypocrisy, which is yet again a logical fallacy. So I'm going to come back to this and ask you yet again, why is it moral to exploit and slaughter an innocent animal for an optional well, wait, you said it's okay to enslave humans for optional products, right? That's what you said.
By whose standard? Like, I mean, they wouldn't like it, I imagine.
According to you,
but then again,
is it moral to enslave humans?
Well, you are in some clouds. You are juggling with some cloud objective things like morality.
According to your values, is it according to your own values? Is it moral to enslave humans?
Bro, you're just throwing like
no. So I'll explain to you. Okay. So I'll ask you the question yet again, because I keep interrupting you whenever you're not asking my question. So I'll explain to you why I'm asking. Yeah, I answered all your questions. I see I was nice and answered all your questions. It seems like whenever I answer a question, you're incapable of answering. Whenever I ask a question, so I'll ask the question again, and I'll explain also why I'm asking. The reason why I'm asking this question is because I need to find whether we have common ground or not. If we had absolutely no common ground, right? I need to test your moral values to see if you're being morally consistent or morally inconsistent. If you're saying that human slavery is okay, then you are being morally being morally consistent, but you might be a piece of shit if you say that. So I'll ask you, is human slavery okay? Is it moral to enslave humans?
No.
Okay, it's not okay to enslave humans. Is it okay to enslave animals?
Yes.
What's the morally significant difference between a human being and an animal that justifies the difference in view?
I have solidarity with other humans. I do not have solidarity with animals.
What's the morally significant different trait between a human being and an animal that justifies the difference in view?
Ability to express power and stop it.
Ability to express power and stop it? What do you mean by that?
Like, I don't know. I can imagine myself being in a position of other person. I cannot imagine myself being a dog.
That's not an ability to express power, is it? Can you describe what an ability to express power is?
Let me think for a moment.
So you don't know what you responded to?
Brother.
You are the one who brought that up. It's so funny to me that you guys give answers and you don't know what they mean. Why would you even give that answer if you don't know what it means?
I think a better question, which will be a little bit of a flip.
1 second,
what would you
Felek.
remove from okay.
Let's. I see what you mean, but let's finish this narrative.
Yeah.
So, what is the ability to express power that you just mentioned as a difference between human beings and animals that justifies the difference in treatment?
Yeah, that's let me consider for a moment. Well, humans can talk, they can express their displeasure.
Okay, so wait a minute. This idea of expressing power was just nonsense, correct? So this idea of calling expressing power means nothing, correct? So we can move on from it.
Yeah, let's move on from it, okay.
Okay, so what other difference is there between human beings and animals that justifies the difference in treatment?
I don't know, just solidarity, I guess. Like, I can imagine myself in the place of animals.
No. What is the morally significant different trait between a human being and an animal that justifies the difference in view? I don't care if you choose to view them differently. That's okay if you
Bro,
choose
what
to
is
view
the
them
moral-
differently.
bro,
The
let's
question is, what specific trait does an animal not have, or what specific trait should a human not have to make it okay to enslave them?
Can I ask like how you say?
No, you have
like,
to answer the
what
question,
is-
please.
No. What's the moral significance difference between your mother and a random woman on the street?
There is no morally significant difference between my mother and a random woman on the street. So now can you answer my question? What is the morally significant different trait between a human being and an animal that justifies enslaving one but not the other? So let me put it this way. What can I remove from a human being that would make it okay to enslave them?
Brain? No.
So I really do hope you're gonna answer this because Chip answered so many questions.
I did answer every question you asked.
What to remove from a man to make him okay to be enslaved?
Yeah. A trait. A phenotype.
A trait. Phenotype. No, it's a good question. I can't answer. I would say like intelligence, but then dumb people exist. Like enslaving them would be not good.
So if there is no difference, yeah, if there is no difference between them, how would you justify enslaving one but not the other?
I like it more.
Okay, so you like it more. So now we end up in this position where do you think it's moral to enslave somebody because you like it more?
Enslave somebody.
We've
Well, still,
already
I don't buy,
established. We've already established there's no morally significant difference between the two that would justify enslaving one but not the other.
No. There is a difference in sentience, I would say. I say like due to the complexity humans perceive world more complex than like animals, right?
So if there were a human being who would perceive the world as simplistic as an animal does, it would be okay to enslave them, correct?
Like retarded people?
Like intellectually challenged human beings, yes. Please don't use the R word. It's derogative.
But we do that distinction in real life, no? Like,
Is it okay
you
to
yourself
enslave
say,
intellectually challenged human beings?
No. But is it okay to
okay, so if
say
it's
like
not...
killing
No.
a cow, is it worse than killing an insect for you?
No, I'm not going to answer this question. So, is it okay if you're
Why? Answer my
Why?
question.
Because
Killing
you
a cow, is it-
the question that you're answering was another question to get you to answer this question, which we started
No,
from.
no.
What
It's
is the
not- it's not
morally
done. What's-
significant different trait between a human being and an animal that justifies enslaving
What
one
is
but not the
significant
other?
between a cow and an insect, my friends?
I wouldn't enslave an insect just like I wouldn't enslave a cow. Thank you. Now, can you please answer the question, what
You
is
do,
the
you do.
morally
When
significant
you do
different trait between a human being and an animal that would justify enslaving one but not the other?
Complexity of thought. Okay.
Complexity
when you
of thought. So
anti-sanitary
would that mean
defense,
that the intellectually challenged human being whose
Yes,
thoughts are not
let's
complex,
enslave them, bro.
then
Yes,
it's
let's
okay
put
to
them in
enslave an
complex.
intellectually challenged human being?
Okay, yes, it is okay. Yes, it is okay.
Okay, then
Like,
we
I just
no
want you
longer...
to stop.
Okay. Well, when you are saying that it's okay to enslave intellectually challenged human beings, I can no longer have a conversation with you. Not because I disagree with you, but because that's a highly bigoted view. So, do you want to defend this position where you're saying it's okay to enslave an intellectually challenged human being?
No. What is the moral significance? You're just using rhetoric. It's going to be used both ways. Okay, I'm just saying like there's no.
And I
there's
answered
no,
every single question that you have. It seems like
No,
you
you have
cannot
not.
answer
Okay.
a simple
Okay, so
question.
look-
Okay, so I'll ask you yet
You would
again,
not have
Mazak.
answered.
And
Mazak.
everything. You did this yesterday.
That's what he did also yesterday.
To be
Okay.
honest.
Okay, so Mazak, it's the last question, and I'll ask you yet again for the last time. What is the morally significant different trait between an intellectually challenged human being, there you go, I started from there, and an animal that justifies enslaving one, but not the other?
Oh, the difference is the same as between a cow and an insect.
there is no difference between a cow and an insect that would justify enslaving one but not the other.
But you do enslave, like when you grow food, you enslave insects. You kill them,
No, I
genocide them
don't.
all the way.
So first of all, I don't genocide insects because genocide would imply that my intent is to specifically eradicate a specific species of insects. I do not do that. I specifically defend my food, and I would defend my food against another human being, another cow, any sort of thing. If my survival depended on it, as we've already established, Mazak, you can justify doing violent stuff. Go on, Felek.
So, Chip, do you think it's going to be productive to someone who's okay with killing disabled people?
No, it's not. But I'll ask you.
Yeah,
but
I'm gonna go.
So, no, Mazak, no. This isn't gonna go that way. I need an answer from you. What is the morally significant difference between an intellectually challenged human being and an animal that justifies the difference in treatment? I think I've answered your question so far. So please answer mine.
My preference.
Okay,
like
your
disabled
preference. So let's go further then. So you think that you can enslave, so that means that there's no difference between them, right? It's just on your side is the difference. On their side, there is no difference, correct?
If you don't believe in souls, then yeah.
Okay, thank you. So if there's no difference between them and there's only a difference on your side, then would you say it's okay to enslave somebody, doesn't really matter who or what species they are, simply because of preference?
Well, I mean, you cannot say if it's okay or not. Like, would I approve or would I disapprove? We already established I would disapprove.
Well, so then we reached a contradiction right now, you see? So you are a walking contradiction right now, because you're saying that there is no difference between them, it's only your preference, and then I ask you, but is it okay to enslave based on preference? And you say no. So there you go. You're a walking contradiction.
No, it's saying like you have preference, I have preference, and you have no power to make me change my preference.
I'm
like,
not asking you to change your preference. I'm just going to show you, as I did just now, that you're a walking contradiction. And your walking contradiction is antagonistic towards individuals of different species. And there would be no difference if you were born in a time when your position would be antagonistic towards individuals of different races. Because in reality, just as there is no significant difference between races, there is also no significant difference between species to justify enslaving one or the other. Yeah, as I asked you, you couldn't answer it. So thank you so much, Mazak, for proving my point. I'm no longer interested in having a conversation with you because you're just being dishonest. But thank you for proving my point. You are a walking contradiction. Let's just move on to somebody else.
Also, thank you, Chip, for streaming. I kind of forwarded the information about this user to the mods, and they are like, yeah, that's kind of problematic. I just had to double check with them. So
okay.
They're probably gonna get removed.
Okay. Well, Mazak, I would say I would want to say it's a pleasure, but it hasn't been a pleasure because you're not interested in actually learning something. You're just interested in saying something, I don't know, ridiculous or something. I don't even know what your point is. You just want to do whatever you want to do, regardless if there is any logical moral statement behind it.
Yikes.
I ask another question, which is something that I don't understand about people. Is that why do people not understand that in order to have an animal to eat, it has to eat crops? So that nullifies the whole insects argument, because it takes more crops through loss of energy, because animals lose body heat, so they lose energy. It takes more crops to feed an animal to eat it than it does to just eat the crops yourself. So by eating animals, you're actually eating more insects than if you just ate the crops yourself. I don't understand why people don't understand that. And then the insects argument is one that I hear a lot, because I watch a lot of vegan debates. And I don't understand why people go back to that. It seems like a really silly argument. There's quite a few kind of potentially better arguments they could go to. I don't really know what they are, but I'm sure there must be a better one than that. But it just seems like the most contradictory, silly one to go to, because it's just so obvious. If you just look at it objectively, it's very obvious. It doesn't make much sense. All the whole there wouldn't be enough crops to feed everyone. I don't know how
Yeah.
to even deal with those people, because I've spoken to those people before, and I don't know how to, because for not trying to be horrible to those people, but it makes them sound really stupid, because you think, how can you not understand that through the, you know, like the life cycle is, you know, just even if you just forget about everything else and just put it in terms of body heat, you're constantly losing energy as body heat to the atmosphere. So the animal eats the crop, it generates, you know, it grows, whatever, it builds muscle that you can eat, but it also loses body heat, forgetting everything else. So just in that equation alone, it's constantly losing energy that would otherwise just still be in that crop that would then go straight into you. I just don't understand why people don't see that, and I find it really hard to not instantly think people are stupid when they don't see that. Like, how do you maintain a level? I guess my question really is, how do you maintain a level head when you talk to people who don't understand that? Because I can't. And when he was saying it just then, I really wanted to just jump in and just say, like, how stupid are you?
Yeah.
Like, can you not see? It's so fucking obvious. Sorry for swearing. I just don't understand it, I guess.
Sometimes when people really want to hold onto the belief, they go down these crazy rabbit holes.
Yeah. That's essentially it. And it's like
just as a diversionary tactic, I guess you mean.
Yeah, and sometimes
Like,
they don't even do it consciously. It's just it's called cognitive dissonance. It's essentially when their brain cannot see past what they want, because they're just so afraid of giving up something that they like that they cannot possibly go beyond that. So they just end up in this position where they'll bite any bullet, say any stupid stuff, instead of taking a step back and reassessing what they're saying.
I think the hardest. I think the thing is that most people, like, you know, even though they might have watched Dominion and things like that, which I watched and I showed to a lot of people that I know or made them watch it. And there's one, I think it was on Netflix, about fish. I can't remember what it was called. It's really good. That a lot of people. It might have been. Yes, Seaspiracy. Fantastic. Like that probably has been the one that affected the most people that I sat down to watch it with. Probably more than the others. I don't know why, but I think because it's such an unknown one, and you get a lot of people that don't, I guess, realize, you know, the cruelty that's in that industry. But I think a lot of people, because they're never exposed to it face to face, even if you see it on video, some of the horrible things that happen, because it's not in front of you, you kind of can disassociate yourself. But I think it should be a part of education that people have to go to these places. Like, I think if everyone that ate meat went to a slaughterhouse, as I have been, and worked in, they would have a very different view. I mean, I don't know how many people, even, you know, that have come on this chat and debated you, have even killed and eaten their own food, which I've done because I've hunted since I was young. And most people wouldn't even be able to do that, you know, because they're so disassociated from it, I suppose. I don't really know if I have a question. I guess I'm just talking. I was just trying to understand where people's head is at, you know. It's so obvious with mass farming that it's such a cruel industry, you know, and having witnessed more and more of it, and I guess maybe as I've got older and realised what's actually happening more, it's affected me more. But people just, I don't know whether they just don't, they sort of see it in front of them, they don't look at it because their brain kind of disassociates them from it, or what it is. But yeah, I think people do need to be shown, but I just don't think video is enough, you know. It's not enough.
It depends on the person. Some people, like me, are visual people, so seeing it works better. While other people just need a conversation.
I want to have
conversation.
Yeah, I want to have one
I don't
more
know how this-
conversation, and then I have to go, and I want to go. So if anybody wants to have a conversation, then we can continue that other stuff. Time, do you want to have a conversation, or TJM? I don't know.
Yeah, I was just wondering, and I'm not trying to be derogatory, but does anybody have farming experience in this chat?
Like of animals or of plants, or what do you mean?
Commercial farming of crops or livestock.
Yeah.
I've
Yeah, I
worked
think
around
we all-
livestock for my whole adult life. Yeah.
So I've been a commercial farmer for 27 years.
Of
I've
what?
grown cattle. We've done commercial poultry. We've row cropped around 2,500 acres since I was about 10. And So I've seen the in and outs of both sides of the argument. And the problem that I see when people want a 100% vegan culture is right now I'm surrounded by soybeans. My house is surrounded by a soybean field.
Which are grown
We've
for
been
what?
spraying glyphosate. Soybeans?
Yeah, what are
Mainly-
the majority of soy? What is the majority of soy grown for?
It majoritively goes to hog feed and poultry feed.
Yeah, there you go.
But now here's the problem. This field that's surrounded by me has been being sprayed by glyphosate for about 45 years.
Okay.
You could go out here right now. If we didn't spray these beans for 5 years, 5 years from now, you would still find glyphosate in those beans.
Yeah, so they shouldn't use glyphosate.
We're-
How is that?
Okay.
How does that justify the exploitation, abuse, and slaughter of innocent sentient beings?
I'm getting to that. So the problem is with commercial farming, we have created, and this is part on the farmers, it's part on the major chemical and pesticide companies, but we have created resistant plants, so our weeds and stuff that grow in the fields.
Yeah.
We have created resistant insects. The insects have mutated to fight off the insecticides. So through years of fighting this battle with things that compete with our crops, if we stopped using insecticides and herbicides today, we would not be able to have a crop.
But how is that
And on top of
relevant?
that-
Because as you've just admitted, most of the crops are grown to feed the animals. If we were to grow crops only to feed humans, we would grow less crops. So this problem that you have with crop production would be less of a problem if people would adopt plant-based diets.
Right. So most people get a lot of their nutrients from meat. Would you agree with that? Like in culture today, say
Most
you take
people
1,000
support animal exploitation, abuse, and slaughter. Yes.
No, well, okay, I'm not saying that. I'm saying that most of their nutrients in their day-to-day diet comes from meat. They might eat vegetables too, but
How
their
is that
nutrients
relevant? They could
come
get
from-
nutrients from other sources.
Right. But what I'm saying is they don't. They use meat. Okay.
Okay, well, how is that
Currently,
relevant?
Currently in the United States, about 3/4 of farmland, quote unquote, is cattle land. Cattle land, generally speaking, is not fit to row crop.
Can you
You
get to the
can't grow
point?
crops on.
Can you get to the point?
Yeah.
I don't understand what your point is.
You
You
don't-
just keep saying about crops and what people eat. I understand.
Okay.
The question isn't what is happening. The question is what ought to happen, what
Right.
should be happening.
Right. So if today everyone stopped eating commercially grown meat, everyone across the board, we would not be able to support that many people based on a plant-based diet.
Are you open
It's
to being
impossible.
wrong about this? Are you open to being wrong
There
about
are-
this?
I mean, I'm open to anything, but I've lived in it my whole life and I see it.
Okay, because I have
We have-
empirical evidence
we have-
against what you're saying. There are studies showing that it takes between 3 to 8 times more land to produce 1 gram of animal protein versus 1 gram of plant protein. You working in the industry, I'm guessing you just never thought about it, but you working in this industry should be highly aware of the fact that you have to feed these animals. And another argument that most people bring, which is the food chain, describes exactly works exactly against your whole argument right now, because the food chain is shows how energy flows in an ecosystem. It's essentially a triangle. The animals that eat plants get way more energy from the plants than the animals on top of them, and that's what we're saying. We humans, the animals that eat, if we were to eat plants, we would get more energy from just eating plants than feeding those plants to the animals and then eating the animals themselves.
Okay. So kind of like you're rambling. So the problem is when it comes to livestock, we are able to run livestock. So when it comes to poultry, I completely agree with you. Poultry, you have to stick them in houses, and from day one to their very last day, they're eating manufactured food that comes from our crops. I completely agree with that. Same thing can be said for commercial hogs.
Same for cows.
Every other. No, not for cows.
Yes.
I grow
So
cows.
let me explain to you for cows. So what you're saying is essentially that for cows you would be able to grow grass, right? But the land used to grow that much grass to grow the cows, yet again you could use it to grow something else. So you would still be using more land to produce less food.
No. Listen, 3/4 of all farmland in the United States is unable to row crop. The soil is not good enough to row crop. We don't get enough rain. It's too sparse. So you'll have cattle on that land, or it's just too rough.
Doesn't matter.
You'll have cattle
It doesn't
on that
matter.
land.
Do we have enough land to sustain the whole population with the land that we have that is arable? Yes, we do. What else do you need? It doesn't matter. If we have enough land to feed the whole population, I don't care about the distribution of land. All I care is that we have enough land to feed the whole population, and we do on a plant-based diet. So why would we
Are you saying for the
exploit
United
and
States,
slaughter
or are you
innocent
saying from another
animals?
country?
I'm saying wherever. I have a study that shows that Mexico has it. I'm pretty sure that if Mexico has it, United States has it also.
The United States does not have it.
The United States definitely has it. So do you have any?
Chip, wait a minute.
Yeah.
He's making the claim that this land is unable to grow anything else. That's his burden of proof.
Can you show us evidence for
yours.
that? Yeah. Can you show us evidence that in the United States you do not have enough land to grow food for the whole population?
Go look at a map of Idaho, for example.
I cannot find any credible evidence for your claim, so you please provide it.
For what? That there's not land, or that there's land that you can't grow crops on?
Oh no, you said 3/4 of what? What was his claim, Chip? 3/4 of
3/4 of land in the United States has to be aerated to have any meaningful crop on
That
it.
wasn't what you said.
Yeah, that's not what you said. You said
Yeah,
3/4 of the
No
crops.
changing what you said.
3/4 of land in the United States is not farmable unless you aerate it.
So
And we don't
aerate
have
it.
enough water to aerate. Look at our lakes. Our lakes are bone dry.
What is
because
the most
farmers-
water used for, Time? What is the most water used for?
in farming?
Yeah.
Yeah, aeration, without
No,
a doubt.
to feed the
Hands
animals.
down. That is a.
I have empirical
absurd.
evidence for it. I have empirical evidence for it. Do you?
That is absurd.
Do you have empirical evidence for that claim?
Listen. I have ran commercial
I
poultry.
don't care.
farms
don't
my
care.
entire life.
I don't
Provide the
care.
evidence. You're making an empirical
Yeah.
claim.
You're making
not
an
gonna pull
empirical
up the
claim,
article
sure,
that I've
empirical
lived it my
evidence.
entire life.
So your claim, without evidence, can be dismissed without evidence.
Yeah. I have done farming my entire
By people
life,
who've
and
never
I
done
used
it.
more water to feed the animals than you have. There you go. I made the exactly opposite claim. How do we resolve this? Oh, that's how we do it. We look at empirical evidence.
Okay, go look at the states that are farming states, Idaho, Wyoming, things like that are dry states. In North Carolina, where I'm at, we get plenty of rain. We don't have to irrigate. Nobody irrigates in my state. When you go anywhere west of the Mississippi, it becomes irrigation places.
Just sounds like an
States
opinion
that
to
are-
me. Can you please provide with empirical
Okay,
evidence
if you
and not
want-
an
if you
opinion?
want- Listen, if you want evidence, go look
Yeah.
at Google Maps for Idaho, Wyoming.
No matter what's on Google Maps, you're making an empirical claim. You provide empirical evidence because I can find no evidence for your
if
claim
you
that
want
3/4 of
evidence-
U.S. farmland is unfarmable for crops because of lack of aeration. There is no evidence.
If
So
you want
provide the
evidence-
studies. You're making an empirical claim. You do it.
Yep.
I mean, I don't know how to pull up, or I don't know how to send you images, but you can go look at multiple states where it's all a bunch
Holy
of little
shit.
circles. There
Holy
are
shit.
little circles.
Do you
over
understand that none of
all
that
of the western
matters?
states. Yes, it does. We've got cities that have millions on millions on millions of people in them that are unable to create food for themselves. We have to ship it in there so that those
We
people
have
can
farmers in the United States unable to make a profit, so the government has to bail them out year
Wait,
after
wait,
year
wait.
after year after year.
Sorry, I just actually, I
It's
have a
just relevant
study.
bullshit.
Wait a minute, because I actually found a study right now about the United States agricultural land that states that if everybody were to be adopting a plant-based diet, we could feed more people on the same land. Here you go. I provided the study in the chat. So this study goes directly against everything you're saying, and it is based on empirical evidence. It's made by the University of California. So please.
Oh.
Please.
Okay. So the University of California.
It's in California. He's going to
Oh, yeah, it's because it's California. They dismiss it. Hasn't even looked at the study.
Can I jump in for a second? Because I think I just want to understand the point that he's trying to make here. Because I think, if I'm correct, and correct me if I'm wrong, what you're saying is that the land is not farmable for crop, but it's suitable for livestock only.
Correct.
Because it can't. Because it's not, because the terrain's too uneven to be farmed. Is that the point that you're trying to make? Just so I'm clear.
Yes.
The land's too uneven. It's too dry, so you would have to irrigate in order to grow crops on it. But grass, for example, can grow, so cattle are able to graze. But that's you wouldn't be able to actually farm crops on it.
Correct.
Okay, that's fine. I just wanted to understand it.
Okay.
I don't have a question about it other than that. That's fine.
So what about the USDA? Here you go. This is an article from the USDA that uses data to say the same things, that you could feed 23% more people on a plant-based diet. This is from the USDA. So I provided you with a different one. So I just feel like you want to reject empirical data. You want to inject empirical data simply because you want to.
Lucky Charms is more healthy than steak.
What are you saying? Because you were talking as I was talking.
The USDA says that Lucky Charms is more healthy than beef or eggs.
Where does USDA say that? You make another claim. Please provide evidence for that claim.
I've been looking at it for the last 30 years.
Show me show me.
Google the food pyramid.
No, I'm not going to do research for you. I already found 2 studies that show the opposite of what you're saying. So if you are going to continue making claims, I would expect at least one of those claims, as you're saying the USDA says this, you can at least do it yourself, since you know what to look out for. How am I, really, do I have to look out for what you're saying and bring it to you? Is this what you are saying? No. Can you please look at what you're saying and actually substantiate your claim? Don't just say, well, I have experience.
Okay, I'm smoking a cigar on my back porch. You're looking at a computer screen pulling up articles to support your narrative.
Please provide evidence for your claim. I have provided you with empirical evidence for that claim. Okay, so if you have a problem with USDA, you should know that this report is made by the EPA. Do you have a problem also with that? Because if that, then we have another study made by the Proceedings of the National Academy of Sciences. Do you also have a problem with that? Because so far you've had a problem with the California Institute, the EPA, the USDA, and I'm assuming you also may have a problem with the Proceedings of National Academy of Sciences.
Do you have a problem with glyphosate being in your foods? Because all of those organizations have
What do you want to talk about next? It's pretty clear you don't have evidence for your claims.
I'm just saying, an organization that says that glyphosate being in your food and in your body is
Don't use glyphosate.
Is not a reputable company. Okay, well, they say too. Those 3 organizations that you just recommended, they all support using glyphosate.
Show me the evidence where they say that.
They all say that trace amounts in your food is not going to. At the same time, our cancer and leukemia rates are through the fucking roof.
And show me the evidence that all of that is caused by the trace amounts of glyphosate, as you mentioned.
Well, that's on
so many interventions you could throw in that pot that you cannot just blame it on one thing.
Yeah, so let's just recap a little bit. You made a statement. You have not been able to substantiate it based on absolutely any evidence. Then you made several other statements that you were not able to substantiate with any evidence. Meanwhile, I have found reputable evidence from 4 institutions, and you reject all of them for different reasons. So as we're at the point right now where it seems like the only individual you trust is yourself, correct?
No. I know hundreds of farmers around me that all live the same life as me, and they all say the same things as me.
Okay, so you don't trust science. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, I mean, I trust science.
Oh, it doesn't seem like it. It depends on where the science comes from. That would be an appeal to. Do you know that's an appeal to authority, right?
Science 70 years ago. Science today is we got a $300,000 grant. We need to prove that what they're wanting is true.
No, that's exactly
Okay,
not how
sugar
science worked. So TGM, do you know how a study is done? Describe how a study is
Okay.
done, TGM.
What's that?
Describe how a study is done.
Yeah. Somebody gives a grant. I want you to research this.
What is it I want you to
Then
research?
I go,
Be specific about it.
say, okay. Say we want to know what sugar in the daily diet is doing to people.
There you go.
But the sugar
Okay.
companies are the one that give the grant.
Okay.
So now the grantees wanting more grants for more of these kinds of studies is going to prove that
No,
the
no.
sugar company
What happens
is
next? What happens next? Okay, so the sugar company pays somebody to see what the effect of sugar is on the body. What happens next?
they run studies. They
No, they have to register that
sugar
study.
in
First
people-
of all, no, they have to register that study. I'm not going to go down how they do the specific study because there's also procedures in that regards. But the one thing you need to learn is that they have to register that study. And by registering that study, it means they have to describe how they're going to run that study and somebody has to approve that. It's not somebody coming from the sugar company. It's not somebody coming
I've
from
worked my
anybody else.
entire
It's somebody coming from an institution whose intent is solely to run proper studies, to make sure that the methodologies are good. Not the methodology, sorry, but that they run specific things that are in par with the way you do science, with the way you do evidence-based science, okay? So that's how studies are run. They can't just, it used to be, I know what you're thinking about, it used to be that before they would start a study, even before it wasn't how you're saying, they would start a study, what is the effect of sugar on humans? They would run on a particular sample, and then when they would find the desired effect, they would stop. And that is called p-hacking. And in order to combat p-hacking, what they did was they now have to register how many people should they run the study on. So they have to register all the variables of a study in order for the study to be considered valid.
All right. Well, I mean, I will say that you taught me something there. I'm a farmer. I've been working my entire life. I haven't been able to do this kind of research into how studies are done. But and I understand that this conversation isn't going to go anywhere, so I'll just end on a note, if you don't mind.
Well, I would mind it if you're drawing a conclusion that just gonna say, well, what based on my experience, this and that, because it doesn't really mean anything, because we've all had experiences throughout our life. We've all drawn experiences. And if you have no scientific backup to back your evidence, then it's nothing more than an opinion. It's just like my opinion would be that, I don't know, Dutch people are better than American people. Would that be a valid opinion? It would not, but it could be, unless I form some form of evidence behind it, it would just be an opinion.
All right. So just in ending my part of this conversation, in my 27 years of experience, my cows graze on pastures that are beautiful and lush all year long. They never get any chemical. Okay, hang on. We never spray any chemicals on the pasture. We never inject them with anything. They live beautiful lives. Okay.
At what age do you cut their throat?
About a year and a half.
How long can a cow live?
I mean, roughly on average, probably 9 years.
No,
they
24
can live
years.
20.
Yeah.
Yeah, but on average.
Yeah. So if a cow can live 20 years, how is it that you find it morally justified for you to kill cows so that you can make money out of it?
Because we've got to eat.
You don't have to eat cows, as we've solely established till now. So how is it that it's morally justified for you to cut the throats of innocent cows?
Okay. In this soybean field beside me.
I don't care about that. How is it that it is morally justified for you to kill cows for an option for something you don't need?
What morally justified killing is, just listen to me. In this soybean field beside me.
No, that's not morally justified. How is it morally justified for you to kill innocent cows for optional products?
Listen, in this field beside me, I've killed 10 deer.
No, I'm not interested with what happens in this Tim, listen, I want to have a conversation with you. Literally, I'm not interested what's happening in that field. I really am not, because I understand you want to form a justification by saying that, well, animals are killed in this field or whatever it is that you're saying. But regardless whether animals are killed on that field or not, maybe you have a problem with the way crop is being done on that field. Regardless, you being a farmer, maybe you could, instead of farming animals, you could farm fields, crops, and do it better where you don't kill animals, if that's your problem. But you're choosing to exploit and cut the throat of an innocent animal when you don't need to. So how is that morally justified?
For the one animal that dies, it does a lot more good than all the other animals that die in our fields.
Could you
Between
not
the deer
could
we
you
have-
not grow
there's-
could you not grow
there's
fields
living
where you don't
rodent-
put glyphosate on them?
No, we can't. That's
You
what I'm
cannot?
saying.
You cannot do that?
The pigweeds would completely take over our fields.
You cannot.
You are
cannot,
fake news.
So you are formulating yet
So-
another statement that you cannot grow crops without glyphosate, right?
Yeah, Google.
You are
Google
fake news.
herbicide resistant. Google.
Jesus Christ, man!
Google
No more
herbicide
Google,
resistant
whatever. No more. I'm not interested. It's pretty clear.
approve this message.
Google a pigweed.
TJ, the problem with your closing statement was the first two words. The first two words you said when you were starting your closing statement were "my cows." These are not your cows. These are conscious, sentient beings who do not want to be enslaved and owned. This is what's wrong. You're exploiting conscious, sentient beings needlessly. We don't need to do it.
Okay, well then, how do you eat? What do you eat?
Bruh. We eat plant-based diets for many, many, many years, and we're perfectly fit and healthy.
Thousands of animals on every year just to get you that.
No,
plant
it's not worth
diet.
it. No, he doesn't get it.
You are fake news.
Yeah.
So, just
I'm
why don't
fake
you
news, but I've done it my whole life. I'm sorry y'all don't see the killing that happens in row crop
Oh,
fields.
please, you're not the only one that's ever farmed. Shut
Yeah.
up.
But the problem
Hey,
is
what
that
do
we
you
do
want?
see that. We do see that. Like,
wait.
like-
You can shut up. Wait. So that's great that you have each other's support. You don't split animals for a reason. I understand the other person. Okay.
Yeah.
You can't just overpower people just speaking your own point and say I'm not interested. Got my point?
I didn't hear anything you said. You were breaking up. Not really.
Are we killing the apples cells when we are eating an apple?
Say that one more
so now
time.
I'm texting.
I mean, I'm joking because I hear all this. Hello, everyone. I'm Marcus. I'm vegan for 13 years and for life. I love you. Thank you very much, vegan people.
Hello there.
Hello, Dave. Hello,
Hello
Chip.
there.
Hello.
Hi, Marcos.
Hey, Marcos.
It's me. Yeah.
Hello
I'm
there.
wondering, when I'm eating an apple, do I kill the cells of an apple? I'm joking. I'm kidding. Of course not. Apples are given. Well, come on. They're given the apples because they like to be eaten to spread the apple trees. That's all. Thank you so much. Unmute myself and listen to you. It's so good. Thank
Hello
you.
there.
Yeah.
You're always welcome here, Marcos.
Yeah.
Thanks. Veganism is beautiful for the future of human.
Yeah, I'm gonna end
Thank
the
you again.
stream because I need to do some work before to the end of the day. So I'll be right back.
See you later, alligator.
Bye bye.
Okay, everyone. As I said, I'm gonna end the stream because I need to continue working. It was something, wasn't it? The whole thing. I don't know what to tell everyone. It's the thing about it is that like everybody comes and makes statements, and that's the reality. Everybody in the stream, everybody in this like look at this guy. See, Brad Butcher right now is just coming in. Where's Brad? Here it is. See, he's making statements, right? Like, oh, let me see if I can refresh the highlighted comment so that you can see it. See, Brad says he doesn't care about the millions of innocent insects and animals he kills to get his soy milk. See, so Brad makes these statements without fact checking the fact that a lot of the crops are grown to feed the animals, as the previous farmer also said. And all of this is just to say a point that isn't really even a point, because we've all been on a farm, or at least, well, I don't know if all of you has, at least me personally. I grew up, my grandparents had a farm. My grandparents had cows that ate grass, and there they also had horses. And you know what? When they say that so many animals are killed for food or stuff like that, the most animals my grandparents killed were to make the animals feel safe. They killed snakes, they killed rats, they killed everything, all of it, to make the animals feel safe. That was the reality. Well, outside of course, the baby cows that they also sent to slaughter. But yeah, this guy, pasture-raised beef is ethical. Yeah, because pasture-raised humans is ethical. Killing pasture-raised humans and eating their flesh is ethical. Just like doing the same to a cow. It's just, you know, that's the whole thing. Most people, they don't understand the argument well enough, because our argument is not an ecological one. Our argument is not how good it is for the environment or whatever. It's not about the environment. It's not about health. We're not saying it's healthier to be vegan, although I'm sure we all have our opinions about it. We're not saying about any of this. What we're saying is that when you're choosing to buy an animal product, what is happening is you're making a conscious choice to exploit and slaughter an innocent animal. That's it. If you have a problem with crop deaths, as you say you do, then be aware that any crop deaths that happen within crop production for food also happens, obviously, for food that we feed to the animals. And of course, a lot of you guys will be triggered and make nonsensical statements like Brad, as I say. You don't know about any crop done on field, dum-dum. Brad, if I open up the Dutch Dairy Association right now, I will show you that cows in the Netherlands, who are probably the best grown crops and the best cows, the best grown cows, the best farmed cows in the world, they are actually fed 40% a combination between soy and corn. And in the soy and corn, you just have to open the Dutch Dairy Association. I'm not going to do it now because it's never easy to find that particular graph that I found, but you can look it up yourself and show it and see it. Within that margin, you would still get more protein on it. But even if, let's imagine this, even if none of it matters, you know why? Because even if you have a problem with crop deaths, even if you say crop deaths is an issue, the only reason why crop deaths is an issue is because the farmer who are farming, they're not vegan. If the farmers would be vegan, those farmers would not be killing them, they would be deterring them. And that's the whole thing about it. I understand you guys want to jerk off each other. Oh, you like eating meat? I also like exploiting animals. Oh, no. But maybe you have to think a little bit outside of your position and think a little bit about the innocent animals that are exploited and slaughtered for you, okay? For a second. Not just about what you want to get out of it. Not just about a utilitarian calculation about, oh, but it is better this way. You see, I calculated that it is better this way. No. It is about no longer exploiting and slaughtering animals. Is crop production perfect? It is not. But it can never improve if at the same time we choose to see animals as optional, we choose to see animals as products, as objects, which they are not. I mean, you see, this type of person, like Jake Bartlett, thinks plants are conscious. You see, this type of person has a problem essentially cutting grass because plants are conscious. It's so insane to me. And yet again, if you think plants are conscious, animals eat more plants. It's so stupid. Like there's just absolutely, it's just nonsense up the wazoo. Nonsense over nonsense. Marcos. Chip, you're a very good activist and a very logical person. I watched your conversation with the farmer. Yeah, thank you, Marcos. Thank you. Thank you for being there also. And everybody, this channel on Discord that I posted is not just for non-vegans, it's also for vegans. If you want to join that. Jake Bartlett says they are. I'm assuming you say plants are consciousness. Can you show me empirical evidence for that claim, Jake? Because I have empirical evidence against that claim. Here, and then there's the next one. Are we going to stop bears from eating fish as well? Christopher, you have options, a bear doesn't. And you're aware of your options, a bear isn't. Oh, Brad is triggered. So triggered that resorted into to ad hominem attacks. Brad Butcher, do you want to debate me? Brad, I can send you a link right now if you want to jump on a call right now. I see you have a problem with what I'm saying. So, Brad, do you want to jump on a call? I just Googled glyphosate thing. To remove glyphosate from products, all you have to do is wash your veggies. I know, Felix. That's insane. That's also as far as I know. Come on, Brad. I asked you, do you want to debate me? Come on, Brad, come on. Why are you running away from the question? I will dedicate more time especially for you. I will go to bed later just so that I can have a conversation right now with you. Come on, Brad. Come on, answer the question. I'm a vegan because it's healthier and more economic. Then you're not a vegan. Don't really care about the exploitation all that much because I'm not necessarily against exploitation. Take, for example, exploiting Republicans. Then you're not a vegan. Being vegan means rejecting animal exploitation. What you are is plant-based. Come on, Brad. Are you gonna cower? Are you gonna be a coward now and run away when I ask you to debate me? You seem like you're such a big person in the chat right now, calling me names and all that stuff. And when I ask you to have a conversation with me, you're not able to come and have a conversation with me. Yeah. It's fine to hide around in the chat section, isn't it? Swear to God. That's how it always is, everybody. And that's what you get. Because that's what these people have. They have nothing. Because when you get down to speaking to them, you see, you just ask for evidence. That's it. If anybody asks me for evidence for my claims, I can substantiate. Yeah, come on, Brad. Everybody's saying it, Brad. Come on. Peer pressure. Come on, Brad. Oh, Christopher. Do you want to do it? Brad has ran away when asked about it. Christopher, do you want to have a conversation with me? Yeah, Tone. That's what I was thinking. Soy feed. Yeah. Come on, Christopher. Are you going to run away also? I can give you a link right now. You join Soy feed and instantly you have a conversation with me. So Christopher and Brad so far, but Brad probably already left running. Let's see the polls. Meanwhile, would you force a kitten or a pup into a slaughterhouse for an optional product? 61% said no, that's horrible. Love it. Love to hear that. 27% said yes, I hate animals. Okay, so some people hate animals. Some people are not sure, but that sounds horrible. That's also valid. I think these people who say not sure, but that sounds horrible, are the people who we should have more conversations with, because the people who say they hate animals are probably just trolling. I keep looking at the chat hoping that somebody's gonna come and debate me. But as I said, the minute you ask them to debate, they run away. I don't debate people on nutrition sites because they didn't care to ask me about my nutrition when I ate like shit before. I don't know what that means. There's no nutritional side. I'm just debating about the ethics of exploiting and slaughtering animals for an optional product. That's what we're debating over here. That's what we would be discussing, debating, however you want to put it. I don't want to debate, I want to discuss, really. But sometimes it ends in a debate because people really want to come up with excuses for it. But yeah. Hey, thank you everybody for being here. I appreciate everybody for being here. Even some people who donated, I appreciate it. Oh, Peg is here. Hey, Peg. I was actually just leaving, but I appreciate you being here. Thank you for being here, Peg. Yeah, but this is my 5th day of sickness, so I'm still staying in house. Probably tomorrow the same, so I might do yet again Discord outreach. We'll see. But on Friday, I hope to be out on the street. I'm not really sick, as you see. I'm not feeling it that much. I'm just feeling it in the morning and in the evening. But, you know, I'm just being careful. I really don't like spreading viruses. I think it's another thing that we should be more conscious of. For instance, the hosts want to eat plants. He can eat plants. I'll eat my meat. Christopher, I have no problem if you want to cut off your leg and eat it. That's perfectly fine by me. I literally believe in body autonomy. If you want to go out there, just put a knife and cut your leg, cut your arm, cut your finger, hell, and eat it. I have no problem. My problem is when you choose to exploit, to do that, to cut the leg off, to cut the throat off of somebody else, namely an innocent sentient being. So, as you see, it's not about it's not about what I want to eat or what I want to do. It's about the fact that I have a moral obligation to not exploit and slaughter innocent animals because I'm also an animal and I wouldn't want that to happen to me. Veganism is a cult against your own body. What are you talking about, man? I'm healthy. I'm 38, man. I'm 38. I'm pretty healthy. I'm pretty fit. I'm sick right now. Like I have a viral infection right now and I'm perfectly fine. What are you even talking about? Honestly, like it's so insane to me that people make these ridiculous claims. I did a workout this morning also. I did it at home in all fairness because I didn't go to the gym so that I don't infect others. But just like, what are you talking about, man? It's so funny. Like you guys just spew nonsense. Yeah. Leaving animals alone isn't compassionate. I completely would agree with you, Daniel Broccoli. Being vegan is the least we can do. It's so insane that people don't get it, isn't it? Discrimination, arbitrarily devaluing someone's interest. That's so well put, Vegan Anthem. I love it. Yeah. Come on, debate me, Christopher Cow. Humans cannot consume humans. The disease you get is crazy. To be able to consume human flesh is not nutritious. That's not true. You can eat the muscles of humans. You can't eat the brains. Hey, Peg. And is that the only reason, Christopher, that you don't eat humans? Because you would get sick from it? Otherwise, fuck it. Shotgun to the head, then cut them into pieces, huh? I like going on the street a lot more than being here, than doing it from home. No, I don't think anybody's gonna debate me. Sorry, everybody. You see, whenever you ask them to debate, they run away. In case you don't know, I also created another channel where I post all the conversations I have on the street. Maybe I should have recorded also these conversations. Could have been good. Next time I'll also record these. And tomorrow, if I'm not mistaken, tomorrow evening, let me check my calendar to be sure. Tomorrow evening, Yes, tomorrow evening, Crystal Heath, the amazing veterinarian, will be on my channel, and we'll have conversations about what's happening in the animal agriculture and about how we can make it better. So that's when I'll be online next, Erwin. Thank you for being here, Erwin. When will you be back online? Tomorrow. Tomorrow, Crystal Heath, conversation with Crystal Heath will be probably more in the evening because she's from US, California specifically. Yeah. And outreach probably on Friday, if all goes well. So, yeah. Christopher says, I had actually slept. If I had actually slept, I would, but I'm not over 24 hours of zero sleep. Okay, but next time I promise I will. It's all love from me. You seem like a good dude regardless. Sure, Christopher, but, you know, it's not about you liking me. I appreciate that, but it's about no longer exploiting animals. That's why I'm here. Hope you feel better. I'm feeling pretty much okay, Peg. I'm just don't want to... I might still be a little bit infectious even if I feel good, and I don't want to risk it to infect others because, you know, people who are immunocompromised can die from it. I still go to the store if I need to, but I wear a mask and I try to avoid people as much as possible. But yeah, thank you so much everybody for being here. I will create another stream for tomorrow for the conversation with Crystal. We're gonna have a good time. And yeah, I think Sky's gonna go live soon. It's just a lot of vegan content. Maybe Jake Lagatare is gonna go also. Either way, I appreciate everybody for being here. And yeah, some conversations were frustrating for me personally. The conversation where we just ran in circles was a bit frustrating. I gotta go back and understand why I got so frustrated with that conversation, because I want to get better at it. But otherwise, yeah. Awesome, Draculum. I know I should probably give some shout outs. I'm going to give shout outs next time when I'm back normally on the street. Otherwise, thank you. And, you know, everybody for being here. I appreciate you for being here, for having conversations in the chat and everything. I know it wasn't easy. So, yeah. And as I said before, the channel, the English Hub, is open. I mean, no, Paulina, no. Vaccinate yourself. Don't stay unvaccinated. I'm sorry, Paulina. I cannot neglect this. No, please vaccinate yourself. No, we're pro science here. We're not appealing to nature. Please vaccinate yourself and look after yourself. Can't wait for more street debates. Yeah. So as I was saying, the English Hub on Discord is open to all vegans. Join there, have conversations. Dave is a guy who 1 second, let me give you my channel because I saw somebody ask it. Mark was asking. Dave is a guy who came from my channel there, and he started doing activism. And he is now making people vegan left and right. Like, believe it or not, yesterday he made 2 people vegan, Dave. So he's a pretty cool guy. Yeah, Vegan Heretic says, this is my other channel, by the way, the Chip Guy Clips, it's called. And yeah, Vegan Heretic, I have no idea how to navigate Discord. I felt the same way. It's a little bit of a learning curve, but once you do, it's worth it. There's a lot of cool vegans there. There's almost always somebody there. There's a lot of cool conversations to be had. So I personally believe it's worth the extra hassle. So I don't know if you want to. It's solely up to you guys. I don't get anything from you joining the English Hub. I personally think you would benefit from it. It's a little bit like how should I put this? Community. It's a little community. It's a little bit of activism. It's a little bit of everything. And you don't have to be there. You can be there whenever you want. But as I said, I think it's worth trying. See you in the next one tomorrow. See you tomorrow. And I'll probably go back to the English Hub now and listen to some conversations while I'm working. Thank you so much, everybody. And I'll see you tomorrow. Yeah. Marcos has subscribed already. Thank you, Marcos. Yeah. I will post more conversations there. I think I have scheduled 2 per day.